There we go. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm just gonna see something in the chat. Awesome. All right. Oh yeah. I guess. I don't know what kind of tools I got with this. Let's see. I haven't used YouTube. This is actually just YouTube. I can do. Oh, excellent. Okay. So if I was to share screen, what would it look like? Oh, cool. Okay. Let's see. Window. All right. Interesting. All right. I never tried that before, but this. Let's see. What else is going to be community? Oh, chats. Okay. We got Jesse here. He's ready to go to bed. So he's going to drive everybody crazy, won't we? Yeah. All right. So I wonder if I can click on. Let's see. What does this give me to do? Tab remove. No. Pin. Go to channel. No. If I click on somebody, I'll pick a victim. Will it pop up? That's interesting. Let's see. No, it doesn't. So StreamYard gives you a little extra perks with that. So cool. Oh, Melbourne. Oh my God. Oh, it's morning, right? So what time is it in Melbourne? Yeah. Hello, in Australia. In Australia. Yeah. Yeah, it's of course 7:04 here, and Jesse's getting ready to hit the hay. So it's 10 a.m. That's my time, morning. I'm a morning. Yeah, 10 a.m. Cool. Yeah, the time zones stink so much because we can't get everybody on the same. So it's is what it is. So it's cool. Oh yes. Oh cool. Hello, Felicia. That's grand. Yeah, Melbourne. All right. Yeah. 10 a.m. Cool. Oh, you guys probably hear Jesse complaining because he's kidding. Jesse's right. Yeah, he's. What? All right. I'm gonna put you down because you're gonna just gripe if we don't let you get to bed. So. All right. Wait a minute. It's cold here today. It's like 40 degrees and it's a little bit snowy. And I'm going to bed. I'm gonna go to bed. Yeah. You want to go? Oh, of course I. He's looking at me like, what the heck? All right. Ready? All right. There he goes. All right. So. Get some, yeah, grand. So wait for some folks to come on. It was actually easy to set it up here on YouTube, and not much fumbling around. So the only problem is you can't bring on guests, so that makes no sense. But oh, Andy's here. Oh no, I'm in the United States. I'm in Massachusetts. Oh, Brazil. Right, cool. Grand, yeah. Yep. New England. I can't wait to get out of New England. Oh, we got a couple of people here from Brazil. That's grand. Yeah. Wonderful. Well, the Z for Andy was doing a pretty stoked post today, this morning. I think he was able to post. There's a lot of weird, just nonsense. I don't know, entertainment. It's absurd. It's just, yeah. No, there's a way again. Yeah. I don't know if Renata's been able to join us, but that'd be grand if she can. So, cool. Yeah. So I think I wrote to Dr. Sala this morning just to clear up some possible misunderstandings in the community that I am not getting intel from upstairs concerning alliances or who's the alliance itself or the Universal Alliance, the CFW, which is the Federation of Worlds. That is from Bob Renault. And for folks who watched that episode of podcast, I did just a short one. I wanted to get some more into it, but I was actually doing quite a bit of research between Bob, some of the other contactees, and this book, which I read, Amicizia. There's a lot of meshing between, and these people were not in contact with each other. So much of the intel that I'm working with now is from the 1960s, 50s, 60s into the 80s, and into the 2000s with Bob Bruneau and Amici as well. He was still in contact going into the 2000s, but nothing's. I'm not getting any of that stuff from upstairs. It's from Bob Bruneau. So that yeah, I suspect there's some concerns I had. I'm gonna do a podcast, and actually just a podcast, not a live, with Nate on Wednesday because I have some concerns about the numbers of my channel now, so that puts me in the crosshairs of the. It's like the old Project Monarch stuff. So Nate called Nathan, or I don't know if Greg's looking for Nate or Nathan, but we've got so many Nathans here. I got my rooster Nathan. We have Nathan Gloss, and we have Nathan Sizik. So Nathan Sizik is going to come and talk about that. He calls it the tempo complex, and what they do, and it's just massive mind control. And this is part of your alien love bite. And of course, yeah. So Andy did a little post on that today. Some guy did, I don't know if it was a TikTok or Instagram or something, where he was talking about 6G, but also some of the neurological things that they're capable of doing. So this guy was talking about it like it was something new, but it's not. This has been going on for decades. And they're fully equipped to do mass influential type mind control, and they basically piggyback, and I did a video on this before on the technology that's used. It was actually talked about by Fred Bell, and Fred Bell, of course, was murdered. Fred Bell was a friend of Rob Potter, so Rob Potter used to go up, and this is from me talking to Rob. I talked, if I can't talk to somebody directly, then that's kind of a concern for me. But yeah, I was talking to Rob Potter because he was friends with Frank Chili. So Rob remembers going up on ships with Fred Bell. But they killed Fred Bell, and then of course Rob was removed as well. But yeah, they're heavily infiltrating and taking over. And I don't, again, none of these people are bad people. If they want to take you over, they're going to take you over. And they're creating these. I mean, really, these people think they're physical contactees, but it's just a holographic overlay. So, like I said, this has just been going on for a long time, and almost all the intel that comes out is bullshit. I mean, I don't know what the percentages are. It would be very difficult to figure percentages, but yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just, off the charts. So it'd be nice, and I just have like a roundtable discussion. We all know what's going on, so there isn't. There's no intel coming out. It's just common sense. If anybody tells you they get some kind of inside information that there's this, lady in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky or something like that, who's getting, black ops, CIA, deep intel. Anybody with a brain. Come on. It's like, no, no. I like the way Nathan and I play around a lot. We're going to start. We would like to arrange, if possible, because everybody's so busy, a spoof type thing. And I know even Eeka, this is the first time Eeka's been on board to be like the channeled Pleiadian. Like, it's great. We got a fake name for him and everything. But yeah, it's just all it's psyop. It's all psyop. Why? That's the key thing. So even situations concerning this disclosure, I've watched some of the I guess I have quite a few because I've been going through some of them, different trailers concerning that disclosure movie by Steven Spielberg, because it's all spiel. He always uses animals. Like the first one he did the 30-something years ago. When was Close Encounters? I think that was like in 78, was it? Right? So Close Encounters, they had the animals, and they pretended that there was a bad dangerous I don't know what it was, anthrax, some kind of bad thing in the air, and the animals were drugged, and they were it was all bullshit. And Devil's Tower, of course, and all that. So I'd be curious to see where he's going to go with this one, because there's the cardinal, there's the deer. What does all that mean? What's going? What is the symbolism behind that? Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of fun. Some people Brazil, because I don't. So the 50s. If you don't have it, I put down YouTube and get some reading in. Anything from Stefano Brescia. Amichizia, I recommend Amichizia because it's got some really juicy stuff like flying UFOs and all that stuff. The contacts he has, but also mass contacts. I would say get them both. If you're going to buy anything, get these. That's so the Bob Rideau stuff. I sent a link. They took down his original. Bob passed. It was 2023. But they took down his original channel. There's a new one. They saved the files. Thank God. There's another link. So Bob's stuff is free, but Stefano Brescia, I highly recommend the books. You'll be impressed with them. So yeah. Oh, where's Renata now? I didn't see her. Oh, there she is. Yeah, there she is. Right. I can't pull up. This is just YouTube, so I can't pull up people's questions on. Oh yeah, Fred Bell. Yeah, he was for sure. He was in contact with not only Val Thor but Simiasi as well. So, and so was Rob, of course. So, and again, they were all physical contactees. Frank Chili is a physical contactee. I'm trying to get Frank back again to do a story that he had experienced in Desert Christ Park area. Beautiful place in California. He's got pictures from the period where he had an amazing contact experience there. So, oh, check me. All right, yeah, Marcia, check my email. Yeah. Please check. Yep, it's all in the. Oh, so Spielberg. That's why I call him Spielberg. Oh, there's still, Rocky Mountain. Like all this bullshit is they haven't. We're still like we were in 1947. They haven't. There's literally nothing coming out. So I just went to Future. Oh, they're never going to release high def. Well, okay. So you want high def images of ships? Paul Villa. Great video. You got Billy Meyer, analyzed footage from Billy Meyer. Certainly Howard Menger. I think who else might have some. Frank would be the contact on that, actually. Oh, Commander Bethune has got some insane footage of ships. Yeah, it's everywhere. Tons of ships when they were able to bring them in back in the day, like the 50s. Well, Bethune's pictures are in the 1980s. That was the one in Nashville where he was in Nashville. So Commander Bethune was in Nashville with a friend of his. I don't think it was Bethram. I forgot who it was. But there was a book made. It's very hard to find, and it costs a lot of money if you can find a copy of Commander Bethune's book. But in this book, he's got the images of they did it on purpose of a craft, a very, very large saucer craft. Fantastic. They put on a light show, and you can see all the mist around it from the ions as it powered up and down and changed. It put on a full light show for this guy. He got pictures of it, and they put it in a book. So that's probably one of the most fantastic series of pictures that we actually shared. I have it on my channel, so you can see them there. But yeah, that's Commander Bethune. So let's see. It's getting good. Oh my God. Yeah. Please. I'm so sick of this shit. Oh, interesting. Germany, Switzerland, high contact area. Spain, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, England is another high contact area. Brazil, Mexico. There's a fellow still alive in Mexico that's taking some amazing footage. And those are pretty great. He wants. Yeah, it's just right now. It's all. I don't know what the hell is going on now. I really don't. They're pushing a lot of weird situations. It's. I'm talking to Louise tomorrow, so I hope she's right. She's usually got a pretty good handle on some of this stuff. I remote viewed the attack on Israel. That came forward, but I'm really not getting a whole lot of stuff because it's so screwed up about what might be happening in the next. I suspect so. Louise thinks stuff might happen around April. I'm not really getting that. It's possible. I think they had planned April around Easter, but I think they've pulled back, and that's the thing. It's like the controllers. I like the way she said that's really true. The parasites, what do you want to call them? I just call them the controllers. They've really been cut from the syndicate, in my opinion, right now. It's I think even the Dark Fleet. So they're from the Kuiper Belt. So they came in here with Andy's favorite groups, Aldebaran, and also some of the Altair. So those are the bad Pleiadians. Oh, I should mention too, the tall whites are not benevolent, so they're not bad. And this is the thing; it's not a black and white type of situation. I mean, you could meet some tall whites, and many people do, and they're fine. They're not gonna hurt you. They're not gonna do anything mean to you. You can go out with a coffee with them, whatever. They're perfectly fine, but they're not benevolent. They're kind of a service. They're service to their own race, and that's common. I mean, there's nothing good or bad about that. It doesn't make them bad, but they're definitely not a benevolent group. And like I said, they are service to self in a way, not in the extreme way, but they're definitely, they work with themselves and that's it, right? So they're not going to be doing anything uber benevolent, that kind of thing. So I would be highly suspect of anything that the tall whites are telling you. I mean, they not that you wouldn't get some great information per se from them, but they're definitely not benevolent. They would not be working with any Terrans in a benevolent sense. And I think people who are working with tall whites, they're being, like I said, it's definitely all Dupeville. That's all. So some of them might actually, wouldn't surprise me that people who think they're working with tall whites are working with tall whites, but those beings are working with the syndicate and working with the cabal. So people who are in and working and trading with the syndicate aren't bad races or beings necessarily. Some are. But it's just survival, right? You go about your day, you do your trading, you make ends meet. That's, you take care of your family. That's the way it is, right? There's a lot of gray areas. So there's very few really nasty groups. Most people are just neutral, right? They're in the middle. So yes. Oh, I see. Yes. You're and it's your yeah. Oh God, Linda Moulton Howe. We call it the spell chucker. Yeah, I think my spell chucker is drunk half the time. It literally will. I'll spell something all correctly, and it'll misspell everything. So Charles Hall. Oh, Charles Hall says the tall whites are a little edgy. They are. Yeah. Oh, they're not bad. They're just well, like most Terrans. They're actually like Terrans if you think about it. They're just. So same for grays. Like most grays are fine. They're not bad. There's just a couple of bad apples. Some groups that are funky. And yeah, Eeka's here. He's looking forward to this. He's doing a lot. Will's back at the base. He came back the other day or so. I saw him yesterday, so that's good. I'm glad he's back. Yeah, I don't like him. He was away for a couple of weeks. I have to ask Linda how long he was away, but I was a little like, I want him. I don't like to. He's like, you don't like. I don't like to leave Eeka alone there for long. So that I'm glad he's back. So oh my God, Aldebaran. Oh my God. He's so he is. He's very innocent. He's very, but it's the PTSD is real and it's been gone for a while, but he had a rough last week and we both had a rough last week. So yeah, that cleared up. I think that was a targeting. I don't know how it hit him. I don't know if it came through me into him, but usually like if he's in a bad mood, I end up in a bad mood because we share that. And it's always reminded me of like when you let water out in your sink, you're doing dishes, and all the water goes down the drain. We just spiral down the drain together. So it's fun. But, super cool though. I'm really happy with Artliste. So the only reason I'm doing that is for folks who want to try some different AI, these Canva, the different types of things that you can use to run your social media, doing all kinds of. I mean, these aren't editing. I don't know if Artliste does editing. It might, because I don't do any editing, huh? But yeah, I like Artliste a lot better than Canva for videos. I also like Artliste for getting really realistic type images. I mean, it's got its pros and cons, so that's why I run through both Canva and them. But yeah, it does a really good job, and I was really impressed with the videos that it was throwing out. So I was just playing around with some stuff, and Eeka and I were having fun. And it's so hard to get a man through these Canvas. Canva does better than Artliste for smooth skin because he doesn't shave. He's never shaved. He doesn't have to shave. So there's always that. I don't, can't blame the AI because it just assumes it's a human, right? So, You just have to kind of overlook a few things. But Eka said the eye bags were very spot on. Those are yeah, yeah. Wait a minute. All right, yeah. Past 8 days has been. You've been yeah, and sleeping. Someone is mentioning. A couple of folks actually were mentioning that sleeping's been shite, and yeah, for sure. Like I've been up almost every hour. It's like, oh my god, and you're like sometimes during the day you're like you just gotta. I never nap because I don't have time for that shit. But it's like I'm like falling over. I don't know what the hell is going on. God. Oh, writing. You're right. Has been. Oh, Charles is hello. Charles is in there, so hope your week is better. So far, I haven't been hit in a long time, so we have a suspicion about what happened there. But like, yeah. It is what it is. It's a war. It's we're in war. So if you're a soldier going to war, you don't expect to have a beach vacation, right? You expect to have your ass handed to you, or just have a really really bad time, and that's where we are. And shit's to be expected because that's the whole point of war, right? So, yeah, you're not here for a party. So, it's just the dragging that's killing me. This drag, just this dragging and dragging and dragging and dragging. It's like I've been curious. I want to ask the animals more questions about um, incarnation and all this idiocy, and because they get it, and it's they like you think like why do they incarnate? You think of it, your cat, like they're like such bosses when it comes to entering physicality and going through the motions. Like why do this? I don't here. Jesse, he's come back. Jesse's got a purpose. He's obviously on the mission too, and they're on the mission with us. Obviously, they're not separate from it. But it's just, yeah, they get it. I don't know how they get it. Anyway, it's just I wish I could. I'm trying to get where they are, so I spend a lot of time with them just to, I don't know, understand the point of all this. Existential. Yeah. Anyway, thank you. Oh, somebody got the flu. Yeah, it was. Yeah, somebody else sleep has been shit. Yeah, they're only those who are ready for peace and those who are risking assisting it. Those are, yeah, I remember that asking my mom that when I was a kid. And maybe other folks have too. Like I found this word utopia and I just go, oh, that's interesting. And I started, so I was only a little kid. And I asked my mom, like, oh, what's a utopia? And she's, oh, it's all when everything's great and blah, blah. And she's like, you don't have that. I'm like, why wouldn't anybody want a utopia? I'm like, I remember I'm just a little kid going, like, why wouldn't you want that? Doesn't that like, it just seemed completely nonsense to me that no one would want that. But, I, Louise and I talk about that, and she thinks that's not, you're not going to see that here. I agree. We could be both wrong. None of us would ever say these things with conviction. And that's another thing that bothers me. Anybody who goes and talks with conviction on any of these, podcasts or when they're doing interviews and they talk like they got the truth. You don't have the fucking truth. You don't know shit, and neither do the ETs. You can't you can't prove it and you can't not prove it. So the answer is I don't know. But to come on with conviction with anything, in my opinion, that's just arrogance, because unless you have hard proof about something, then it is what it is. It's not that it's wrong. It's not that it's right. It's just you can't prove it. That was was it Einstein was talking about that? I think about proving God or something like that. You can't prove or disprove God. So there you go. So I have two friends. Oh, French bulldogs. Those guys are wild. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's, I think they just get stuff I can't get. And I don't, I don't get it. I don't understand existence. I really don't. Anyway, are allies doing well? Are the allies doing well? Depends on where they are and what they're fighting. I mean, a lot of them are bored. You got. He's laying down. He's like, that answers your question, I guess. Yeah, I mean, Semyachi cries a lot. There's a lot of folks who have partners that are like, it's just This is like some kind of weird existential. It reminds me of silly putty. Like you just kind of pull it. It's like, and you just keep pulling it, and it's just an endless torture of limbo based stupidity. Of it is what it. Like I said. Well, you yeah, there's no yeah, well, that's and people want that, I guess, um I don't personally, and this is something I've talked with, like, Evan and I are on the same page, but that's just our opinions that we don't see that kind of an ET civil, what we would consider like a, oh, well, the boys in the ground crew mentioned it, it's an ecosystem. The idea of having an ecosystem where your civilization works as an ecosystem in a reasonably, I don't think there's ever any such thing as a complete utopia. Like I'd have to experience it for myself. I'd have to see it, even though they claim they have it. I still have to experience. But in a humanoid planet, a reasonable ecosystem where there's everyone working towards a sustainable way of living, where you have everything you need because everything you need is available, and you everyone work basically everyone. You're not gonna have everyone, but basically everyone works together to have a happy, peaceful, productive. I would think that seeking happiness would be a motivator, but I guess not. So I just don't see that here on this planet because I don't think that desire is everybody's desire. And that's not that it's right or wrong, and that's the way the ET. So, and Amichizia, the W56 is called their enemies, their enemy brothers. So you have to. I don't have to, but you don't have to. That's a choice. But there's going to be, because there'll be conflict. There a way in which those people who prefer service to self life, because there's lots who do. And then there's people who have a service to others type of desire. And you can't mix the two because you see what it's like now, right? For most of us, we're service to others. And we're living in a service to self place. And we find how difficult that is. Now and how that like is like nails on the chalkboard, probably your whole life. So you can't mix them. They don't seem to mix well. It's an oil and water situation. Usually your service to self folks, not always, but oftentimes they may be because they're an insatiable type of personality where they're always driven by, I think it's probably a brain structure. Well, obviously. Right, sure. Um, but in the neurology, I suspect that there's some kind of an issue, a problem. So empathy this is the thing, the brain structure has to have empathy, and not everyone does. So when you remove empathy, that's part of it. So you can't force somebody who doesn't have empathy to have empathy. And a sustainable ecosystem type civilization is really one based on empathy. Where if you see somebody else in need or a being and whatever is an animal, a plant, you want to have everybody happy. You're not happy unless everybody's happy. That's empathy. So you can't be happy when you know there's other people. And that's partially my problem is that I know so many people are struggling and suffering and I can't, it's like that. I have to just shut it out because otherwise, I mean, I'd be of no use to anyone. And I did spiral into severe depression, suicidal depression because of that. And I'm like, I can't live here. This is so horrible. But yeah, it is like a oil and water situation when you try to mix service to self, races, and beings with service to others. It just doesn't work out. So it's time. Yeah, because yeah, this is just time is soon. Yeah, yeah, Rocky Mountain timelines, they're all over the place. I feel like there's less. I could be wrong, but I feel like they've kind of condensed a little bit. But even still, in there, it's shake and bake. That's not because the actions that happen against the cabal, not only from so they're playing civilization, they're playing the sheepies, right? The crust like a piano. and it's kind of a reactionary situation. So whatever they throw out there, they wait to see what the populace does, and then they adjust. If there's any pressure from benevolence on them there, that also adds another layer. And also there's pressure within. So within the cabal itself, there's conflicting desires and interests and things like that. Of course, everything that you see on the surface is theatrics. They think nothing of killing large numbers of people. That's not they don't that's nothing to them. They have no compassion whatsoever. They don't have it. They just don't have. So you have to kind of step back from that. If there's mass death, it's they don't care. It's you still have to kind of say, all right, well, what did they do that for? And there's always a reason for where they do it, things, something, and what they're pushing, whatever. So there is no. I always tell people all the time, there are no countries on. We have culture and all that, but countries are fake. Those are all created by the. Those are all again. It's all theatrics. So any concept of a country going after another country, that's all part of the theatrics. There's no such thing. It's all cabal. There actually is already an NWO. That the only difference between the New World Order that people talk about and the New World order that's been on this planet for a very long time is revelation and full acceptance by the sheep on the top. So that's what they're pushing for with the transhumanism agenda is to get the sheep on the crust to be fully synthetic, to accept it. Because right now people just don't even know about it. They're not aware. There's groups that are resistant, but there's also groups that are completely oblivious. So they really want to have everybody under the same plan, and that's been going on for millennia. They have patience. Their lifetimes are not like what you see here. It's like 100 years to them is nothing. 100 years to them is probably equivalent of 10 years to us, or 5 years. So they're very, very, very patient, and that's how they get what they want. So you have to show conviction, as self-confidence is the only meter to go further into what people call the insane. Yeah. Purgatory. Yeah. This is for me, purgatory. Yeah. I'm in purgatory. Volunteer 962. The Cuban Missile Crisis. Okay. Didn't count on things getting the. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, but gonna keep my sense of humor and stay positive. Yeah. Sense of humor, positive, one day at a time. That's what my neighbor said. My neighbor, who's now not going to be 95 in April, one day at a time. It is. It's unfortunate with that. Most of the beings on this planet, of course, you can access the universe anytime you want. I don't know. Does it make it worse? I think so. I mean, for me, everybody's different. Knowing what's out there just makes us even more. I guess if anything, frustrating for me. I just like literally pissed off. Oh, so Elena put something up today, a short. I shared it on Facebook. I got a really bad vibe from that. It was on the Jupiter hub, and I immediately got this really bad vibe. And I heard the word like prison. So I don't know. Yeah, it was I guess somebody they had some kind of powerful telescope. And we know about this. Let's see if anybody remembers this. But I guess there's a telescope that was able to take a picture or finally see some kind of structure out there. It concerns me. I don't know why, but I don't get a good vibe from that. Controlling matters when I'm getting. Oh yeah, I keep asserting my sovereignty. Yeah. Oh yeah, you got to fight him all the time. Where is he? Where is who? Trudy, is it? Trudy, where is who? Will is back at the base in California. Is it Will? I saw him yesterday. He had a drink in his hand. I'm like, oh, Will's back. Good. Do our allies fought off the infiltration? They're infiltrated. And they'll tell you that in Amichizia as well as the Corendai. So there are many different. So Earth isn't just one alien. There's not like good guy aliens. Like what? Okay, so there's not like one big conglomerate of bad guys and then the good guys. It's a mix. So you have ETs fighting ETs here. There's bases all over the planet. And the different races are allowed to operate on and off planet using these bases. They're not allowed to reveal themselves to the public. So you're the guy or lady you meet for coffee from your office every Wednesday could be from, Alpha Centauri, but they're not allowed to tell you that. They'll never say that. They're not. It's just. So Eeka and I have been talking about some of the. So when he came down to work with the military, yeah, my hair the crow was getting right here. They signed documents that basically severed any assistance. So he knew what he was getting into. I don't think it just didn't sink in. Like he's like it didn't really like the reality of being abandoned here. Like he didn't. That didn't. I don't know. That didn't register. You're saying it didn't occur. Like he just. But they did. So the groups like I wouldn't. He would have done it anyway. Because he had to get here. But it is curious. So when Will was on, so Will didn't have a great experience. This was several years ago. I don't know. I'll have to ask Linda what year this was. But so Will was living on Sirius B, and the syndicate was after him, and it was it was an assassination. They wanted to kill him. So he had to flee a really, really stressful, nasty environment there on Sirius B. So these things are going on all over the place. It's not, this idea that there's somehow better upstairs and everything's great. That's bullshit. I always just look at it as family. Some people grow up in a great family, other people have a shit family, and that's all on the same planet. And that happens upstairs as well. And it's been going on forever. So I don't understand it. I really don't. So help me. Oh, the cabal, the Nephilim fallen angel. No, the cabal right now, they're largely humanoids. There are some other races involved, but they're not Nephilim or fallen angels or anything like that. No. Let's see. Oh, Eeka. No, Eeka's here. He's right here. He's in. Seems like some people can see him. I don't know how to share screen with this. I tried. It gave me some weird. But yeah. Anyway, so so we just spend. What do we do? Like most of y'all, right? We try to have as normal a relationship as we can. We spend as long as most of the day together. I don't go to him that much because it's the base and it's like, So he usually comes to me, and we just spend the day together. Whenever here and there, pop in and out. That's all. It's weird, but you get used to it after a while. Galactic War is so crazy. Oh yeah, old since the big ships appeared. It's all bullshit. It's just the same bullshit. That's why do we do this? Like, why are we here? Like, why? That's why I got to ask the animals, because this doesn't make any sense. Like, why exist? Like, I don't know. Anyway, that was lately it. From the Vipers to chemtrails heavily over. Oh, Celtic Sunset. Yeah, we've had tons of chemtrails here. We've had barely any clear nights. Oh yeah. I don't even care anymore. I don't. I know. It's like, what are you gonna do about it? I have there's this funny kind of like a video meme this guy did, and he's out trying to have his soup and a wine, and there's tanks going by, explosions, aliens, craft, and he's just having his soup. That's me. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. Because what's the point? You can give all the fucks you want. Anyway, we're all in the same place. So we are in the living set of Men in Black. Remember that? The Men in Black. Oh my God. Yes. There's some. Oh my God. We are the ones who fight back the darker side by our. That's it. I don't know how many of us there are. Oh, somebody. So T. What's the story? Who's the blonde guy? That's my husband. Is he an alien? He's oh my God. He's a humanoid from Era. I know this is all right. Well, he's in the same boat we are. He's retired, resigned. Both of us are. I resigned and he resigned. But resigning doesn't get you out of here. I mean, he could go home, but he won't. So we made a pledge that we'll die here together. And so did Will. Semyasi, I don't know. Her man's here. So it's just a lot of pain. I guess that's the best way. But he's a human from he was born on Era, and that's how they usually will. And if you read Amichizia as well as other texts, they always just say that, they'll say, I wasn't born here, something like that. That's usually as far as they'll go. But they're humans. This is from Amichizia. This is Sigis, which you can hear him talking. I shared that in the podcast I did on Amichizia. And Sigis, and his Earth name that he is like Will. So Will goes by his name is Will's name. He's from Era as well. Will is a tall, a hell cross. So he has like chocolate colored hairs. But his name is Tyridian, but he goes by the name Will here. He says he wants to go by his Earth name, Will. So they take on personas when they come here and they work in jobs and whatever. And so Sigis is also a fake name, but Brescia was good friends with him, and his name on Earth was Pietro, and he was one of the W56s. And he was a university professor. He lectured in computer science. So he says, this Pietro, right? He appeared to be some years younger than me, a good expert in computer sciences, and a guy very prone to jokes. And some are very, like Eeka's very funny. He has a weird dry humor, and that's but Brescia says, my first contact with him and with the W56s took place around 1963. I was attending the first year of the engineering course at the University of Pisa. There was a friend of mine who was attending the course in physics, and that's how they got to meet, Pietro. Pietro actually followed Brescia, Stefano. As he traveled to Russia, he would follow him there and show up. And then when Stefano came to do some lecturing or teaching, I believe in New York City, also in some other parts of the United States, he also saw Pietro show up again for him. So, yeah, he said, well, one night he and the ET, Pietro, were discussing physics. Then around 1 a.m., he left to go home. I started practicing yoga. And then he says, all of a sudden, I experienced a bilocation. I was at the same time sitting in my room, but also behind my friend in Piazza dei Miracoli. He was staring at a magnificent UFO high in the sky, and I was sharing the same event. Next day, he confirmed me what he had seen, but he had not noticed my presence behind him. Then suddenly again, I experienced a trilocation. I was at the same time in my premises, in the square, and within an office. In front of me there was a young man sitting at a desk, smiling at me. He said that it was he who did the trick, and that he would be waiting for me next afternoon. He told me the number of his office, its address, and said that he'd be waiting for me at 3:30 p.m. So they're with us. Like, he loved wine. Pietro loved wine. He wrote a poem to wine. They love, there's just no change at all. You wouldn't notice any difference. So there's oh my God, there's right now. What year was, let me see here. Nope, not this guy. I have it somewhere. Where did I put it? All right. There we go. Okay, this guy here, his name is Paolo Di Girolamo. This was, okay, so in around 1963, just the W56s alone, with their bases across Earth, there were 600,000. So there are, and now there's just a ton of visitors living amongst us. And these are a mix of the grouchy ones and the ones that are either just peaceful. There are so many of them that are just living here. They consider themselves Earthlings at this point. They have families here. So they actually have children that were born here. So you could have two Alpha Centauri, a mom and dad. They have a kid here. Their kid is an Earthling. And that's just how they see it. They don't, they don't separate stuff. Eeka would be just as happy living here. He's got a lot of commitments back home. So, but you wouldn't have a problem at all living here. None of the technology here bothers him. They don't think that way. They're very much like the animals, in that sense, where they're fully okay with moments of existence. They don't have any issue there. So we exist to experience. Yeah, we're experiencing. Yeah, we're experiencing the experiences. How do we see him? How do you see him? You just make a quantum entanglement. You can remote view him. Is it not? No, he's- not all the time. He says no. Yeah. So yeah, just the same way you talk to any of the anyone. Animals are telepathic, so they're full on that. But it's either through a remote view or you can quantum entangle and connect with the person. So some take human bodies via soul. Yeah, some okay, yes, some do. Some take human bodies via soul contract agreement with an editing existing soul. That was kind of us, actually. I read up the story of the female Venusian. Oh yeah, Rob Potter knew her well and helped her to do her ambassador mission. So that Omnic person is just an envoy. That's the same thing we did. It's not. I don't get that. I like she's an envoy. Anyway, other ETs have to change form, so the Corendai would change. So basically, it's kind of a soul split thing that they would do because they can't come here really. There's some races that can't, like, due to the nature of their planet. So the density of, the heaviness of the gravity on Corendor is 3 times Earth, so they had to change to come here. So they would change their shapes, and they actually don't look a lot like Earth humans, so that would be really noticeable. But some will do that. But some of the W56s didn't. They're like 12 feet tall. So what then suddenly lost his citizenship. Oh, Eisenhower. Oh yeah. Yep, even the ETs. Oh, yoga. Oh no, yeah. No, so Stefano was just doing his own yoga. Pietro didn't do any yoga with him. The only thing Pietro did with them was drink and party, pretty much. So, who did? Let's see. Not 600,000 bases. There were 600,000 W56s in 19. What did I just say? 68, I think. All right. See. Yeah, 1963. So there were 600,000 on bases across the planet. See, and that's the Benevolents. The Benevolents are also fighting they call them this. That's not who they are, but the W56s were fighting a group called the CTRs, and they were a synthetic race, and they were a service to self race, and and eventually they destroyed one of the bases in Pescara. So there's actually ET on ET. Well, we're all ETs. There's no separation. I think what's weird about this planet is you have huge numbers of visitors interacting here and living their lives and fighting their fights, while you have a large population on the crust that's completely oblivious to reality. This is a weird planet. It's just like it is like I don't even it just doesn't even make any freaking sense. The people that are running around on the surface are so I don't I don't know. Good luck to them. That's all. I assume they don't reveal their identity if they are even aware of that. I don't. I slide. Can I? Yeah. Can I? Let's see. But this I've never. Oh yeah. Oops. It's doing some. This is YouTube, so okay. I don't know. I don't know if I can get back up there. Bill Tompkins. Was it Bill Tompkins? Bill Tompkins was good friends with Frank Chili. So Bill actually saw, and he told Frank that when he was working in the Navy. Oh, just a minute. Oh, W56 is just a fake name they call themselves. It's a bunch of different visitors from different places, so they just call themselves 56 because 1956 is when they first started the contacts. But Bill Tompkins saw that. So Bill was working with the Navy and the think tanks like Douglas and blah blah, right, out in California. So they all knew on the base that at the same time, and this corroborates exactly with Brescia's stuff here. The base and also what Eka experienced. So the base is actually our military bases, not the ET bases. The military base, the military is split down the middle between like the benevolent. There's like almost an arms race. There not almost there is. There's an arms race between the regressive military and the Draco and some of the the tall whites and some of the Aldebaran. But then on the other side, you had they call them the Nordic Navy. And these were the benevolent visitors who were working, and that's what Bill Tompkins was working with the benevolence. And they were giving him all of the information to using the think tanks to create these crafts. So they're retrofitting submarines. So you have this is what this looks like right here on Earth. I mean, you have this side by side. Eka saw that himself. He's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. What's this side by side factions of benevolent visitors who are working here with benevolent military, and then regressive, and it's side by side because Eka's had experience with both. He had no idea who he was working with. It was talk about mindfuck. I mean, and the regressive Earth military would have ducked him. So there's, he had a flashback of that last week too. That that was a flashback. Well, there's a lot of weird planets. It isn't just it's like it's just makes no sense. It's a dog eat dog universe. I don't know if that's the Matrix, and the Matrix just isn't here. I guess the Matrix is all over. Everyone's in the Matrix. So benevolent ETs, are they helping out humans? Yeah. Well, that's because it's a big picture thing, right? They're trying, and they've been trying for when I know, but hidden stuff, not the hidden stuff, the military stuff. So Eka says 1930s and 40s military stuff, other than because he was talking about, because for millennia there's always been visitors here, but they used to kind of sneak in to help people. But the military stuff, he says 1930s. It's difficult. It's difficult because they look like humans. However, you can feel the knowledge of 3 feet. Yeah, they look just like people. 100% look like people. That's another reason why I do the AI, because it's like they look just like people. So people who were telling you about they're meeting these Nordics that are like, really arrogant and all that bullshit, they don't look like that. They look like a person. You never know the difference. Every one of your contactees, the real original contactees back in the day, they look like people. Ships would land, and regularly they'd be like, and they'd see humans walk out, and they're like, oh, it's people. They thought it was Russians. And you would never think ET, never, because they're people. Oh, Celtic. Oh shit! I don't know if I can get. Let me see. What was your question? I don't know if I can get this to work on here. My computer is kind of old and wonky. I'm just too lazy to get a new one. I don't want to mess with it. That's mostly. I don't know what. Oh man, Celtic Sunset. Can you ask it again? Because I can't access that. Anything you want to ask Eka, he's just laying on the bed here, taking up space, which is what he does best. He says, if we are here to fight, what weapons do we have? Except, and we just dead in the water. Starseed bunker. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think if we don't have assistance, I don't understand. I don't see what the hell we're gonna do. So. I'm so done with the black hat, white hat. Oh, that black hat, white hat thing is bullshit. That's fucking stupid. That's part of the virtual temple complex that Nathan talks about. That's all. People who are talking about white hats and black hats, I understand saying that, it makes sense. You could say the benevolence are white hats in the back, but if they're actually thinking there's like a white hat alliance, that's virtual temple complex. That's bullshit. Hi, Eka. Hello. Knew it was you when I saw your picture. Oh, yeah. So you've met him. I see. He's a cheeky monkey. Gets around. You and Andrew are lucky to have found each other again. Well, we didn't. It's kind of. Hope you're doing well. He's doing good, actually. He's doing well. He's thank you. He says thank you for asking. He's doing well. Just say it. It's the Jew. It's not the Jews. That's part of what the theatrical part thing is. So it's all cabal, and the really there's it's not the top ranking. There's that kind of middle. They're all assholes here. No, nobody on Earth or working with Earth is any top dog. They're just losers, and they're being cut loose. But you have some of the I was calling the Illuminati. I don't know, like a hierarchy group. You know, the Rothschilds and stuff like that. They're not Jewish. So what they did was scapegoat the Jews, because that's how these guys play. So when you look at something like Israel and what's happening to Israel, they'll bomb the shit out of Israel. They don't give a fuck about Israel because it's all cabal. What they want to do is create this illusion, although it's real. There are people dying. They want to create an illusion so that everybody, the sheep, fall for it. And they will. I without full intervention from upstairs, I don't see possibly what we could do. There's not enough of us, and we don't have a big enough voice. So anyway, is quantum entanglement with someone based in? No, it's the physics. It's just it's physics. So quantum entanglement happens between neutrons and protons and electrons and molecular structures and yeah. It's just a physics. It's a physics. It's an electromagnetic function. So your brainwave is a scalar wave, and then you send that out to somebody else, and it's thought transfer. But it's just a matter of physics, just like smell or taste, or well, it's not even like those are senses. But you know what I mean? It's a natural thing. Everybody can do it. Is there a protocol? There is. So if you want to talk to somebody, so if I do a telepath, if somebody asks me to talk to somebody, I'll knock on their door basically. So I'll send, right? You make a phone call and you send the call. So I send a call, and this is what you'll get too. So somebody else will send to you. I was talking to Suel the other day. He actually came in. So ever since I worked with the Clarion people in a podcast, Suel came to me like the next day. He's living in Switzerland right now. So he came to me again last week. So they knock on your door. And then you can answer or say, hey, you can take a rain check. I'm really busy right now. So that's how it works. You just knock on their door, and they'll answer usually, unless they're sleeping or something. And then you just have a conversation. So it's a thought conversation. So when Eeka, I know, the night he came physically, and Louise gave him hell for that. But it wasn't him, it was them. And it was, anyway, we couldn't foresee that. So the night he came, with him physically next to him, to me, we were telepathing like the conversation I'm having right now. Like it was just, yeah. It's harder with him now, even though he's here astral. It's harder for me to pick up. So Eeka has a communication chip that they put in his brain, and that assists, that allowed him to talk. So this is another thing. The chip that he wears and it's never going to come out because it's actually they attach it right to your brain. That allowed him to interface with the ships. So this idea that the ETs talk to their ships using BCI is bullshit. They don't. Some can, very, very few can, but the other ones have a chip. So they have to wear a chip, and Bob Renault had a chip. So that allows that telepathic communication. He also has a chip above his ear, which allows for enhanced telepathic communication, which makes it a little easier. But you don't need that. You don't need that. I don't have that. You don't need it. He's always, because he was in the military, he needed it, and that's just protocol. And especially with him being a commander in the past. Yeah. So all that bullshit about, these ETs having magical powers, it's just bullshit. They don't have magical powers. So I am new to this question. Who approached who to solidify the partnership between me and Oh, we grew up together, so there wasn't anybody. We were just kids. We played together. So we have past lives together, many past lives together. So we just grew up together, and one thing led to another, and yeah, yeah, here we are. Right? It's like a childhood romance, so to speak. I guess I asked. It's time my husband start to be more tangible. Okay, after being hidden by presence. I don't know what your husband's job is, so it may be for your security that he has to, and it's got to be really hard for both of you. I'd imagine that's a nightmare. But I don't know what you guys signed up for, but you'd have to talk to him. And I mean, he already knows because they know what you're thinking. So um, it could be his job, but yeah, just whatever you guys takes time, it takes practice. What are some tales to how do some tales know someone is an ET? Well, we're all ETs. Everyone's an ET. Number one. Number two, there isn't. So someone who was born on another planet. Remember, there are ETs born here. So you have two Alpha Centauri people, or two Pleiadians, or two, I don't know, Venusians that living here. You know, Harry meets Sally, and they have a kid. The kid was born here. So they're Earth. They consider themselves Earth people. Is hundreds and hundreds of thousands of ET that consider themselves Earth people. Usually, there's just they're really nice. General, not all. Like I said, everybody's there, but it's nature and nurture. So if they're true, let's just say, well, they're truly a visitor, right? They're just fun to be with. He's laughing. I wish you could see him. He's really cute. He's like, they're just super like your best friend. I mean, you just immediately connect, and it's like, yeah, they're just, yeah, the way it should be, The Nordic Navy. Let me ask. I don't. That was just a name. Yes, but Nordic, it's just a name. So Eeka was part of that. It got bigger. It got more involved. What's the difference? Eka said there's a lot more exchange, not only of mercenaries, yeah, mercenaries, but equipment and knowledge. It just got ramped up. Are you one of the so-called gods chosen? What's a god? I don't know what god. I don't. I'm. My consciousness was born on Era. We have no idea what God is, so we don't personally have God. So I don't know. That's an Earth concept that's beyond my understanding. So, slaver logic. Certain the ships I see are very low overheads. Oh, you got some ships, Celtic Sun, over your heads. That's very low. What they could be? I'm going to say those are military. So Ezekiel always says, be careful about that situation. Don't let them get low over you like that. One, it can be extremely dangerous if they get too close to you. But those are military ships. Those aren't benevolent ET. So he says for you to be careful. Don't seek them out. Don't go near them. Sir, he's a skateboarder. That's a new thing. Him and Will started skateboarding. So he's never surfed. He does like to swim. And him and Will go so they're not that far from there's the Pacific Palisades Road, right? And then there's the water, the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and the base runs under, and I did a video on that. It's actually Point Doom, if you're anybody from California. So the base runs from Santa Monica under the ocean. There's a section of the base that Google Maps blurred out, but there's a picture I showed it of it's a massive. Eco was saying it's the older part of the base, and that runs under the ocean, out towards Point Doom. So it's 17 miles, and it goes under the mountains as well. but there's a house. So there's actually an above ground section. So they can come up into the house and walk, and they do. There's quite a lot of in the Pacific Palisades area, paradise. Of course, the Pacific Palisades fires, all that was done to hit the ETs that were living there. So they actually blocked the streets. I have a lady I talked to that lives in Pacific Palisades, and her house survived the fire. But she says they actually blocked the streets and they openly were preventing people from escaping. Yeah. So, uh, is this we also grew up together, and yeah. So we grew up together. So we have someone here with another ET a visitor, like we're all visitors, but it's extremely hard. I know there's a lot of people that want to have like, oh, I want to have a relationship like that. And it's incredibly painful. Yeah, it will. I'm going to say it's going to destroy your life. And I mean, it's like it's a soul bond that's beyond any understanding. You're both ghosts. I talked about this before, what it really feels like, and it's like you're a ghost. Like I've never really been in body, but I feel like a ghost. And he's a ghost to me, and I'm a ghost to him. And we're trying to live as ghosts, and it's just twisted. And every single day you try to climb out of the pain. And there's a lot of ET guys up there because I'll telepath, and usually not the ladies, but the ladies usually just kind of cry. But the guys, like they get so angry. It's just this ripping anger. There's so much pain. It's a roll. You're going to be on a roller. It's not okay. You're going to be on a. Anybody who's been in this relationships like these, you know what I'm talking about. It's a nightmare. But at the same time, it's it's amazing. I mean, it's like they're a piece of you. You're a piece of them and they're a piece of you, and there's no way around it. I guess it maybe someone who's lost, if you've had a physical relationship here, and you've lost that other person, and you're a widower or a widower, that's what it feels like. And yeah. Does Eeka have a car he likes? Oh, he loves them all, but he likes fast cars. He's like sports cars, stuff like that. But he likes airplanes. He likes cars. I said, you want to fly a fighter jet? Yes, he likes the fighter jets. Some of the visitors are pilots. My brother would love to fly a plane, but they pick it up like that. Like you could take my brother, put him in a plane, a commercial airline, and he would just pick it up with another. You just ask their way their brains work. They have full brain function, so it's just they pick it right up. Why did you have the experiences you had? I don't know. Why are we even I don't none of this makes sense to me. I don't know. Eka, did you ever watch the movie The Matrix? Was the concept divinely given to more than one author at roughly the same time as there were more than two people who wrote the story? Did you see The Matrix? Nope. You didn't see that. Why not? Eka, have you, in your knowledge of GFG, heard of the so-called founder, creator of GFG? He won't answer that. Yeah. Just to tell you, he won't answer any question that attacks somebody else, an Earth person who's talking about. He won't answer those questions. Yep, totally. So, he will, though. He has been coming forward and saying, and a lot of them are coming forward. Like 90% is fake. 90% of what you're being fed. 90% of the contactees that are coming forward now are actually part of the virtual temple complex. That's actually CIA. They're actually being, so they're not bad people and they're not lying, but they're actually being fed intel. They're actually given fake experiences from the the CIA and other operatives like that. So they are actually meeting ETs, but they're regressive. So probably 90%, right? More. Yeah. Um, Soul Lounge goes, wait, thanks for yes. Oh yeah, it sucks. I'm in so much pain. Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's not fun. I know people think it's like romantic and everything, and it is, and it is, and it is, but it's like a sandwich like that with you will just waver, like to be like bliss. Sometimes when I'm doing work with him, we're hanging out. It's like we're like watching shows or something. It's like bliss, and then boom, reality hits you in the ass. Ghost. That sounds. It's that's. I just wanted to show people it's reality. This is what it's like. That's why I don't understand all these happy people. Like, you ever notice all these podcasters and contactees? They're always happy. Life's good. Well, we're just so happy. It's like I don't know what you're drinking or smoking, but everybody I talk to, this is a nightmare. So I suspect that most of them are, yeah, V2K. Rocky Mountain, I hear you. It makes it so hard to want to stay and finish this war when your strongest support can not walk this realm yet. Well, they can. I know yours can, but yeah, We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. A force in the Matrix. You can't. Yeah. Yep. Nope. I'm out. I am out. Cool. So, right. Yeah, 90% Kool-Aid. That's what the ET said. They've been saying that since the Kurendai were saying that. There's actually go read Terrorcore, Bob Renault. There's whole sections there. Where they're telling Bob, they're like, Bob, it's all bullshit. Don't believe that shit. Not that all of it's wrong. They're saying, watch it, right? But they're saying they're not in contact with us. So does it like swimming like for exercise? Oh, does he swim for exercise? Well, he's still keeping built from the military because he thinks if he ever needs to, if we do start fighting or whatever he's keeping that in there. He just really swims for fun, really. Yeah, I know. He used to swim back home, so it's kind of like this, for fun. Because they're our concept of exercise is very much like the Japanese or Asian, a Chinese type feng shui. It's very like that. It's very spiritual, I guess, right? So we don't exercise, we don't work out. They have so when he was that's why they're so ripped. So when they're like that, it's because they use different devices to enhance the physical body, but that's military. Yeah. Because they're super soldiers. Okay. They're fighting Draco. You got to be a super soldier to handle that shit. The humans are small when they're fighting against some of these other, amazingly powerful things. It's not good. As well, Dennis, I know she didn't make it tonight. I haven't seen Dennis on, but Hemelik got his ass handed to him by some Draco. He broken bones. It was terrible. Yeah. Let's see. My husband, soulmate, best friend transcended this. Oh, he died. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Venetian cat. Yeah, I know. You know. He talks to me in my mind to this day. I miss him. Yeah. Yep. So, yes, it's like that because you're not physically, even though he's not dead, right? Even, we're both in physical bodies. We're only contacting each other in the astral. So, well, physically we did quick, but he can't stay like that because they'll kill me. And I don't care, but I know that, for him would be, and if they kill him, I don't give a shit. I'm out. Like the only reason I'm still here is because he's here and my animals, but mainly it's him. The fact that he's alive is the only reason I stay alive, because I wouldn't otherwise. There's many different tall white races. So the tall white races aren't, benevolent, but they're not bad either. They're just, So, well, that's the thing with these relationships. We chose to do this. See, that's what happened. So we all came here upstairs and downstairs. We all came here with a mission. And then there was deep, deep infiltration. And we got betrayed. We got left to die. So it didn't go as planned. We should all be gone. We shouldn't be doing this right now. So at least 30 years ago, 20 or 30 years ago, we should have been out of here. But deals were made with the cabal. And we got shafted. And there was huge amounts of interception. And that goes all the way back to Bob Renault's stuff as well. But we got shafted. So and there a lot of them died. I mean, a lot of visitors. Yeah, it's just always been like that. It's just always been like that. I don't know why we just we were innocent and dumb. Let's put it that way. So. What does your husband and the ETs eat in the basement there? Oh God, Will is a foodie, so Will and I share that. Eka likes food, but he's not so much a foodie as they eat the same foods we have here. So we have, yeah, God, he likes pasta. Will loves pasta. Coffee. We have different types of fermented beverages like beer he's a big fan of beer. They have breads. They have all the vegetables, potatoes, nuts, fruit. We have sweets. I'll tell you what he does like. He likes a lot. We're not real fussy. No one's fussy. So the guys in, everybody's different. Eka doesn't like pizza, but some do. The guys in Amicizia, they loved it. Let's see. What he doesn't like anything fried. Because we don't fry food. So he doesn't like fried food. They don't eat meat. Some do. Some ETs eat meat. A lot. Rarely the meat if it's humanoids. Very rare. Some have dairy. We don't. We're what we call vegan. But fish is a big thing. So some will eat fish. We don't eat fish. Eka doesn't eat fish. He won't eat any dairy. He doesn't eat fish. He never grew up with it. Some do. He can, in a coffee, if they put milk in it, he's fine. This is the first time he's had eggs. He likes eggs. So that's something new he hadn't, we never had back home. But, so yeah. Same foods. They're human. So they're, it's the food you should be eating. But we have nutrition in our food back home, and on the base. So Tai Chi, that's the kind of stuff. Yeah, it's very spiritual stuff. We don't exercise, but when they come here, they get involved with stuff. They start getting curious. You'll see them jogging and, different things like that because they get curious. And we don't have bicycles on Era, but you'll see them learning to ride a bike here is something fun. So they love cars. Most ETs are crazy about cars. He loves boats. He's big into boats. They love all the machinery. That's the thing. And then they mentioned that in Amicizia. We don't fly around in craft just to fly around. There's a purpose. So we don't joyride. That never occurs to us. So if you are going to go into a craft, there's a reason. We don't just fly around. But coming here, there's a lot of new experiences that for me, I'm an old thing. So he learned to get more into, maybe it's a guy thing. I don't know. For me, it's the horse riding was the only thing I cared. I'm not into earth stuff. I never had any interest in earth stuff. Competition sports, no, that's not something. Some do though, like the Alpha Centauri, the Tau Ceti, they do have competition sports. We do not. The Hell do not have competition sports. No interest. So, how was that? There's Dennis. Oh, we were saying Dennis. Remember poor Hammerlick when he had his ass handed to him by those Draco? Just explaining how rough it is for humanoids fighting some of these ETs, because it's a lot of the aliens are massive and we're not. So yeah, same here. Only remaining for my adult daughters and their. Yeah, exactly. I'm with you. Just staying here for that. That knowledge of betrayal is profound. Angry isn't it? Oh, when I knew we were betrayed, because I had sensed it for a while and a lot of people did. This was several years ago. There's no, yeah. I no words. No, no words. um, has Eka and others from your team gone to other star systems to help planets in similar situations to Earth? So when I was in my other body, I would help with some rescues. So I bilocated to a ship in this body. I bilocated into the past. There's no future. Yeah, into like a parallel past where I was on a ship and I saw a rescue and I saw myself in my real body doing the rescue. Eka has. I have not here on this planet. I have gone up when we work upstairs sometimes, but I'm mainly just on a ship. But Eka has. He was commander in some of the fights. The ground. I would be careful because he gets a little stressed out. But he's a not really ground, mostly the fleet fighting. So the scouts, they're like battle scouts. They fight like that. He did some of that, but it's really scary. I don't want. I mean, Dennis, veggie lasagna. Does Hemelech like veggie lasagna? No, he doesn't. This guy don't. Nope. Ricotta? Nope. Nope. He hates cheese. He would never eat that. No. He's showing me he'd pick out the vegetables and the pasta. Scrape off the what's your treat that Max Beers? No, I'm not with Project. I don't know Max. I know Max Beers. I don't know him personally. I'm not with his group. Max Spears was legit, but I'm not with his group. So thanks. Yes. Oh, he loves that. Oh, that's so Will does too. Will likes Linda's pasta sauce. So. Off, yeah, I remember that. Hemelech was awful and painful. Yeah, that was bad. I was up with him that night, and with the whole night, I'm like, oh my god, that was that cell that they had him in the Draco ship was so gross. That was, so, oh. So do we get? Well, I'm here, so I'm eating shit. But does for Eka, does he get vitamin B12 in food, or do you even? We have this. If you're interested in this, go read Howard Menger because he talks about that. So the soil, when we farm, and I'm a farmer back home, we make sure that all the proper nutrition in the soil is there in the plants. So we genetically engineer plants. All of our stuff that we eat is genetically engineered benevolently, right? So there's genetic engineering itself. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just what you're doing it for. So our food is genetically engineered to make it especially bioavailable for humanoids. So we have some fruits, and they're trying to bring this stuff here. It's like a. I only showed it on Facebook. I actually don't think I showed it here. It looks like an avocado, but it's a big avocado. It looks like it's not an avocado, but it has the texture of an avocado, but it tastes like a melon. That's what we feed our babies, and that has pretty much everything you need in it. So we also have drinks that have all the nutrition, but we make sure our soil and the plants themselves get all of the. So we would never take vitamins. The beings that are living here eating food, like living amongst us and eating the food that we have here, then they would have to be careful about stuff as well. They don't care though. I mean, it's not so much of a big deal. But yeah, we don't have nutrition issues in our food. I do because I'm here, but what does your husband and the other ETs? What does himself and the other think about the new war and the old wars of Earth? I mean, they're just frustrated. They're sick of it. There's a lot of ETs that are sick of it, like really sick of it. But what can they do? They're just people. They're just individuals. And they follow orders. Or, I mean, this is a mess. Can they stop the war? Can the ET stop the wars? Yeah, absolutely. There's no need of this. They could come in here and stop everything instantly. They just don't bother because they don't care. Some do. It all goes back to the same thing I described with like animal rights activists and people who like bacon, right? I mean, that's basically how Earth is viewed. You got people who want bacon, people who think it's wrong to kill a pig. And here we are. So I mean, they could clean this garbage, like everything that you see around, everything here can be cleaned up like overnight. Basically, I mean, it would take like time to do it, but we don't have garbage. We don't create garbage. So all the garbage, all the poisons, all that stuff could be cleaned up. The ETs have all the technology to clean that up. They would clean this earth up in no time. They just come in here, clean it up, get rid of all sicknesses, get rid of all disease, fix the food system, bring in that replicator so some people wouldn't be starving if they're in a rough situation at that time. Bring in food. They could fix this whole place up. No worries, in no time. They just don't. Some want to. I mean, they're pulling their hair out. But it seems to be the case, not just on Earth, but other places and just forever, that there's large amounts of beings that don't give a shit. They don't care about suffering. They don't have the empathy. I don't know what it is. They're brainwashed. A lot of them are brainwashed. But there's large amounts of mostly humanoid that would want to do that. The cabal would have no chance fighting a galactic invasion. They right away, they'd be taken out. So that's the question. Why are they catering to them? And you hear a lot of bullshit about that, right? Oh, the humans aren't ready. The humans don't give a shit. They're never going to be ready as long as the cabal's here. Why are we leaving the cabal here? I don't know. I didn't have a dream with Eeka and Will. I just saw Will. I knew he was back at the base. I was talking to Eeka and Will and I could just see Will walk by. I was in there and their area where they're living, and I just saw Will. They love fast cars. So Teal, Val Thor's one of the ladies that works on the ship. I don't know what she does, but she's a hot foot. She likes fast cars, roller coasters. Oh, he fast sailing. Oh yeah, they love that. Not everybody, but he does. So you can. Oh, they're fighting through time now. They're fighting. They're going back and forth through time. And Sal Pais mentioned that he who controls time controls everything. When he was giving you a hint, they have this war is being fought through time. When you were upstairs viewing House here on Terra, how did you view this world? Well, he didn't think about it. He's been incarnated here before as a Terran. Eeka's been in a Terran body in past lives, but he's like, he didn't really think about it until I mentioned it, and then we fought about it, and then he realized that's not, because there's a lot of Earths out there. We're not the only one that's going through this. There's a lot of other planets going through this. So he's Earth is one of the mother planets, and that's how mostly humanoid ETs view Earth. It's like a mother planet. It's a very old planet. It's all air. It's much older than Era. Era is a very new planet. So there's that sense of brotherhood, sisterhood between the humans from other planets and the humans on this planet. So you have that draw, there's that compassion that the other races, that frankly the Andromedans and the Arcturians don't have. They have no idea what it's like. So your 4D ETs, like your Tau Ceti, Alpha Centauri, Venusians, the Hell and the Tau, they some Tau, um, they tend to have a bond here, and they say cousins. So it's like watching your family suffer, and it bothers them, but it doesn't bother most. So hydroponics. Oh yes, Dennis. Yep, you know all about that. Dennis is also from Era, so she knows. She's from the warmer part. I'm up. We're up north, but where it's forest, and some folks may know that you're in the place where there's forests and all lakes and all that. So Dennis lives by the ocean. She's in the warmer section of Era, so it's very Mediterranean looking there. Genetically, oh yeah, everything's GMO. Sounds like a mess, but yeah. Why is it a mess here? Yeah, because people don't give a shit. Basically, that's I don't know. I'll ask him. Can you see auras around? He says he senses an essence. If that so he doesn't see it. He's saying I don't see something. He's like he senses it. Well, the hell are we're very sensory, so we're very sensual. So that might be. He doesn't see anything. He says he feels it. So, but that could be just a genetic thing. So, I want it fixed. Oh yeah, it's fucking stupid. The fact that it's not getting fixed is just total bullshit. It's red tape. It's bullshit. It's like, why bother? We don't give it. We're all doing well. We don't give a shit. That's basically what it is. Yeah, I got mine. It's just the I got mine mentality. And what they do is, I mean, everybody does this, like they when you see something that's wrong, but like part of it is cognitive dissonance. It really is. It's just cognitive dissonance because if I don't have to go out of my way to do something, why bother? And they convince themselves that the people who live on this planet are just, idiots and they're happy and they don't even see them as human. So is what it is. Let's see. Oh, their free will non-interference. That's bullshit. There's never been. That went out in the 80s actually. So basically the food has all the right elements for our food has all the right elements. Yeah, yes, derp. Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Oh, that's right, because you're trying to kill and poison everybody. That's all done on purpose here to kill and poison people. You should only take 7 months to give birth. So what happens is obviously the women on this planet aren't nutritionally, it's all bullshit. We're all starving. Everybody on this planet's starving for nutrition because there's no nutrition. And when women are pregnant, they don't have any nutrition in their body, and the baby doesn't get the right nutrition. So they're not developing right. They never develop right. And it should only be a 7-month pregnancy because it's extended because they're not developing right. And when we give birth at home, it's simple. It's very easy because the baby isn't that big at 7 months, but it's fully formed at 7 months. So giving birth is simple. I personally think it's a nightmare. There's no like pain, and it's like when women have their, when women cycle in the menstrual cycle, right? On Era, it's not painful. There's no pain. So it's all from nutrition, toxins. We're carrying such a huge load of toxins that they fed us with. It's all on purpose. And that's why humans are sick on this planet. Anyone would be sick trying to survive this, you know. Have vegans need to be? Well, we're not vegan. We eat what humanoid should eat, which is vegetables and plants, right? And nuts and seeds and oils from seeds and nuts and stuff. No animal products. Humans are not designed to eat animal products. So, but here they understand because there's no nutrition. And the nutritional differential between a potato grown on this planet and a potato grown on Venus or Era is there's no comparison. So who makes that? I don't know who's going to make the decision. I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking, oh, Bob Lazar, yes, and his oh, poor Bob, they fucked him over good. Oh my god. Oh, Z Tiamat. He was human. Who's human? Bob Lazar, he's human. Freaky. Oh, this place is a fucking. I have no words. If it's any condolences or you can find empathy with other shit show worlds. There's quite a few. You could be living on Alpha Draconis. But wait, there's more. Well, it sounds like. Oh, Bob. Well, Bob was fed a bunch of shit. The black military, they messed him up. They did give him intel, but they were like mind wipe him, and they just used that guy like a donkey. I mean, I'm surprised he's still alive, to be honest. That poor guy. And you can't stop it. That can happen to anybody. Did they reverse it? Of course they reverse engineer shit. Well, not this, the Nazis. The Nazis come from the Kuiper Belt. And they are also linked to some of the synthetic Nordics. So the Nazis are ET. That's where they got the tech. So. Oh yeah, can I be beamed in? Anybody's can be beamed and teleported into the ship. Anything. The computer, me, Jesse, toilet paper, whatever. They can beam anything into the ship. What do you want with them in my physical? If I go physical, I ain't come back. I'd kill myself on the ship. I would never come back here. They know that. So yeah. Everything here is inverted. Oh, everything here is inverted. This is a joke. It's a fucking joke. Soil is pretty depleted. Yeah, they did it on purpose. The soils on this planet were depleted on purpose. They were depleted. So Howard Menger was talking about that in the 1950s. They were depleted. So what I take is, and I'm not giving any medical advice, but I take seaweed supplement. It's the same company that makes it for horses. So my horses also take a seaweed supplement because it's micronutrients that are no longer present in soils. So I take that. I don't give medical advice. I'm just saying that's what I personally do, because YouTube will be all pissed off because they don't want people knowing. So it can help with thyroid issues as well, but I'm not giving because you're lacking nutrition. So your body is trying to, Are different racial groups on Earth from? There's no such real thing as race. So when we talk about races, it's a little bit different. But yes, absolutely. All of your native indigenous people from some parts of Asia, so Japan, Australia, New Zealand, the Americas, those are from the Pleiades. Then you have other groups from Sirius, but all of the skin tones, we only have very limited. So humans come in blue and green and silver and gold, and brown and different layer cut, pink, white, pink, whatever you want to call it. Even like a yellowy type. There's all different skin tones of humans, but Earth was not inhabited, so everything was brought here. It was not a way back. When Earth was first forming, it was an ice planet. So it was not. So everything was brought in And that's the case for most planets, unless you're. So all humanoids are from Lyra. So, or didn't say the pea brain. He is a pea brain, yes. Doesn't have a left and a right hemisphere. No, they do. That's how you're born. No, they're humans. They have a left and right brain. Eka has another brain too, because he's a man. So it's not well. The brain, everyone's brain is connected. Their corpus callosum connects both sides of both hemispheres of the brain, but they're not poisoned, and they don't have the genetic manipulation that happened to the Terrans here. That they were de-engineered to be a slave race, so they were domesticated and deconstructed. That didn't happen to the Ahel. So other humanoids and other planets have full access to their DNA, which can be changed because it's a musical instrument. No one can change your DNA for you, okay? No one on Earth can change your DNA. Save your money. So the Kuiper Belt, yes, Nazis, yeah. Dark Fleet, they're German. They speak German. Yeah. If you came here, and you came here via the renovation, I came as a walk-in. So you came here via. Edward is saying it's greed. It's greed. It's betrayal. It's ego. Power. I got mine. Yeah. They don't give a shit. People don't give. No one gives a shit everywhere. Yeah. This idea that that's like we said, 90% of the narrative you're being told is not real. It's from the cabal. So anyone that tells you that they're advanced upstairs, and there are some, older races like the Draco and some of the reptilians, and certainly your insectoids they're the oldest race. Then your reptilians. These are the oldest, these are the most advanced, oldest races. So the concept, in my opinion, of evolution and ascension doesn't actually resonate with the reality. But anyway, I leave that to people to believe whatever the fuck they want. Your oldest races and beings are the ones that are oftentimes regressive. So, plus the ETs don't see things in black and white like that. They don't consider ascension. They don't consider it, number one. Number two, they've never heard that word. There's a natural evolutionary process. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be more or less benevolent. In fact, some races and beings decide to go synthetic. There you go. So it's greed is everywhere. It isn't just here. This is why this pisses ETs off so much. That Earth beings somehow separate themselves off. Like, we're this special little race that's ascending. Look at us ascend and find our souls. They're like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? You're an ET just like everybody else. So they don't understand this. And anytime you read anything where people are in real contact with real visitors, they're going to say that. They're going to like, what is up you guys' ass and why you think you're so special? Because you're not. But anyway, my husband's not an alien. He's a human. He's a human being. He's a humanoid, just like you. He just wasn't born here. He has a mommy and a daddy that made love and made a baby, and that's how it works. So, and it's nurture. If you're raised in a loving family, more than likely, you're going to be a loving person. So if you have a planet where the vast majority of people are raised in a loving situation, not all, but the vast majority, you're likely going to have a very loving civilization. It's nurture. Earth was an ice planet. Yep. Why are there restrictions? All planets go through they're a concretion, right? So you get a bunch of shit that forms and builds like a snowball, and then most are terraformed. There's the Goldilocks zone. So there's trillions of planets in the Goldilocks zone. That's science. Even the mainstream cabal scientists will tell you that. That's the Drake equation, yada yada. Yada. I know I have a comment with it. Other brain, but I will say it. Oh, so the brains. Oh, his other brain. Yes, no, yes. And I said, why did they put the chip in your head? Why didn't they put it with your other brain, which is the one you use the most? And he didn't know why. No. No. Nazis were already a breakaway civilization. Oh yeah, living on Mars. Yeah, yeah. Yep. The Nazis are how they remind me like the fleas of the universe. The assholes. Oh, wasn't I think Andy will be able to mention this because he saw that. Didn't some lady say that some of the Nazis are good? Yeah. The Dark Fleet or something were like benevolent or something. It's perspective. You know, the ETs don't say good or bad. There's just stuff that you accept and stuff you don't accept. So we're on your body, and every time that you consider it, I think they do. I shouldn't be alive. Yeah, and everybody says that. You know, I know they've done. I have actually had stuff done to my body that medical people have noticed, and they sync me and Eka. They did that. That happened a few years ago. My friend Patrick also experienced a physical syncing. He got nervous because they start to control parts of your body that are what are, there's oh my god, autonomous nervous system, things like that, right? Stuff, parts of your body that you don't really control that they start controlling. And he just remembered like just to relax. And because I remember the night that they synced me with Ika, and it's definitely weird. Um, but he was relaxed, and I just, all right, I feed off of his energy. Like, so like when he's calm, I'm calm. And so they do. And many folks have had different things done to their bodies. Absolutely. Interesting. I never get sick. So I don't. Um, the insectoids, one of the oldest races in Draco. Yes, the insectoids are very, very old. Some of them are extremely wise, wonderful beings. Others are total assholes. So there you go. So there you go, right? Oh, as you ascend and your race, then the humans become more, older, and they grow. They'll become more benevolent and crystalline or whatever the fuck the CIA is feeding these channelers. So then how come the insectoids, which are one of the oldest races, like forever, some are good and some are bad? Explain that, ascension weirdos. I just don't believe that shit. I don't understand it. We don't use that upstairs. We don't understand it. In my opinion, and in the ET's opinion, that's CIA. So, but you do you. I always tell people do you. I know. Humans are not from Earth. No, they're from Lyra. Because we were too different from the reality. Well, the animals aren't from here either. Nothing was here. Animals were brought in as well. The first ones brought in where this was reptilian. So Earth was first seeded, and that's why the reptilians want it, because it's their planet, and it is. It is. Initially, they had Earth set up the way they like it, and then climate change. The Earth's climate has changed. And that was from extraterrestrial interference. So, actually, Earth should be basically a sauna. Earth is a very tropical climate. It should be like that. Earth always had a very high carbon dioxide content. It was a very warm greenhouse planet. That's actually what Earth should be like. Nothing like what you see now. This is fake. This has been manufactured. What you see now. I know. It goes back to microscopic amoeba. Shit in a muddy swamp. Somewhere in Europe. Can I still move to Era? Starseed Bunker is an amoeba. I wish we were amoeba. God, this is so fucking stupid. Anyway, do you feel we have an alliance of galactic Terrans are here to help take out the cabal and negative ETs controlling it? We're trying. I mean, yeah, we're trying. Just a bunch of bullshit, basically. Maria Orsic, that's we think is Jessica. That's a like, and he don't like Maria Orsic. Trying to pull the right track, and they deceived her, so she left. So Maria Orsic was Altair. She was trying to. She actually was a breakaway herself. She's feisty, so that I don't mind her. Eeka don't like her. I wouldn't trust her 100%, but she said, I'm a chimera, and she is. She reinvents herself. Quite an intriguing woman, in my opinion. But she's working. She's in California. Last I talked to her, so I don't know what she's really doing now. But she is living and working in California. Like I said, the last I talked to her, I don't know if she's there now. I don't talk to her anymore. It bothers him, so I don't have anything to do with her. Oh yeah, I mean, when is the shit? I don't know. When is this shit gonna end? I don't know. There's many ways it could end. It's no one knows. We're just hanging on. The ETs, they don't know. They're pushing. There's just a lot of fighting amongst themselves about, what are you going to do? So there's no, I don't see a good ending. I mean, I can see it eventually being good, if things, but I don't see the shift being good. Like I said, I'm talking to Louise tomorrow, and Louise senses that I kind of agree with her. It's going to be bad before it gets better. It just has to be. I think there's been mass data. If anything were to happen, I think, and I'm just guessing because I don't, there's so many things. I think it's going to be business as usual for a long time. I think a lot of people are going to die. I think there's going to be a lot of like violence happening. They might even try some more COVID, something like that. They're super going to push transhumanism. They're going to keep spraying and poisoning everybody. So you're going to see massive amounts of cancers and all that shit. It's just going to get, yeah. I don't see any ETs swooping in, neither does Louise, to save us. They should. This idea of like, oh, we don't save you. Sometimes you need help. I don't see how we as repressed Terrans, and that includes the envoys, we don't have the technology to fight the cabal. Anybody here know how to stop a chemtrail? I don't. So without assistance, and we should have, we're supposed to have assistance. So this is a joke in my opinion anyway. So I mean, if I don't croak in some event here, whatever they have planned, I'm just going to go die in the woods basically at some point because waste of time here. So who won? Oh, cats. Cats, all the animals come from different planets. Everything was brought in here. There's no such thing as that. Well, there is evolution. There is evolution. So things will, but this whole thing of the primordial swamp and in a a paramecium turned into an elephant, that's bullshit. So Darwin was cabal. There was another guy that actually worked alongside Darwin, and he was violently silenced because Darwin was cabal. That was the narrative. Everything that they feed you is lies. I mean everything was brought here from other planets. So yeah, Ascension's a scam. Tony Sayers channel, the real exposure crap and the BS. It's New Age. It's CIA that started in the 1980s. 90%, the ETs tell you, 90% of that is fake. I don't care how nice, and it's not the person. I thought they're bad people. They're nice people. Some of them are total assholes and grifters. Some are reptilians. Yeah, are they bad assholes? Yeah, but a lot of these humans who believe in all this shit, they're not bad people. They think it's right. It's the stuff they've been V2K'd. That's what I'm going to have Nate on Wednesday, and we're going to talk about the virtual temple complex, and that's what that is. Bringers of the Dawn. I'm channeling the Pleiadians. That's all. Fuck sharing this. We're going to actually spoof that stuff. That's baloney. No, that's yeah. There's no. But people can believe whatever they want. But if you have two, to me, in my opinion, if you have two sticks to rub together, that's bullshit. It's yeah. That was part of the Jerusalem ship. Yeah. You're healer. Not now there are people who are healers. That's legit. But a lot of that stuff is just and they don't know. It's not that they're bad. Like I said, they're not trying to screw you. They believe it. So yeah. So the end it is unity with our thought and action to dissociation. Well, unity was the thing. Let's see what time. Unity was the stuff that uh, W56s were pleading. Unity, unity, unity. Stick together, stick together. And the mass contacts groups, they all started infighting. This is what you're seeing now. They all started infighting. They all started falling apart. And that's what the cabal wants. That's how the cabal survives. So if the Terrans on this planet actually stuck together, they'd be a force to be reckoned with, right? But they don't, and they won't. I cannot see Terrans sticking together. No. That's me. I just don't see it. They've never stuck together, so why would they suddenly stick together now? I don't see that happening. But it was part of the reason why the W56s ended up moving out of Pescara, and because the base was bombed. And they try to tell. They try. But it's complicated, and that's partially because of the nature here, the nature, right? So life on this planet is Draco, and a lot of people grow up with bad situations. So you have a nurture issue. People grow up with abusive situations. Then they go out into the world. Of course, school is abusive. They go out into the world. That's abusive. So when you have a being that's been raised with abuse, that changes person. That's what you got on this planet. How many, I mean, you just look at your own life, right? How many times have you tried to make friends with people and you trusted people and they screwed you over? So at some point you're like, is what it is. When the worst comes, have broomsticks and rocks ready. Yeah, that pretty much. Well, Louise says, go in your house and shut the door. Yeah. I mean, there's people who have, and I say yeah, firearms. I'm licensed to carry. I suggest, I can't imagine being female and not being licensed to carry with what's going to be coming. And that's against other Terrans. Your firearm is useless against the cabal because they got scalar weapons. They got ET weapons. They can. My main concern is the mind control, because then we're screwed. We're all screwed. When I croak, if they allow that, if they don't evacuate the envoys, okay. And I don't get, but I get their idea that they won't save the Terrans. I get it. I don't get it, but I get it. But if they leave us here to be transhuman, AI to die here, because the thing is they can take your consciousness. And that's a fate worse than death. So yeah, I'd be pissed. As it stands, there's going to be a lot of galactic court. That's all I'm going to, this is garbage. So yeah, ascensions is based on the concept that you're not enough. You need to improve yourself. That's bullshit. That's all cabal bullshit. That is actually what gets people into the soul trap. Doesn't that sound like religion? You're born in sin. You're a sinner. You need to fix yourself. Yeah. No. But like I said, there's a lot of people that like that. Enjoy the soul trap. Break free of the programming and people will come together. They're never going to, I can't see them breaking free of the programming. Mindset. Yeah. They're not. They're not. No. And I suspect a lot of Terrans like it, and they want that. A lot of them are gonna wanna be transhuman. So, it's in your nature. It's in some people's nature. Greed is in some people's nature. If you don't have empathy, there's people who say that. There are a lot of people on this planet that don't have empathy. So there's I mean, it yeah, I mean, so they don't judge. ETs don't judge that. That's a race that doesn't have empathy. Your tall whites, they do have empathy, but for their own. So, yeah. What Earth humans can live on, and if a lot of there's tons of planets Earth humans can live on. Any other humanoid planets are suitable to humans, and most, like Corendor, there's a heavy gravity. So what they would do is they would take you and put you in a different body. So technically, if you don't mind switching out to another body, then that really opens up a lot of more possibilities for planets. But if you want to stay in a basically Earth human form, then there's quite a few. God, I mean, millions of. So you can live on, and if they would be transported by ETs, what are the most? I don't like living on Earth. I would never come back to this. I would never come back here. That is the biggest mistake. And I know Eeka says that we made a good decision. I'd say no, we did not. This is hell. I would never do this again. I regret it. I regret this decision. I don't regret wanting to save or help the beings on this planet, but I 100% regret doing this. Yeah. Because we're not saving them. We're not helping them. We're basically just dying here. So, yeah, I would, no. I would never come back here, ever. But I want to just go home. So, there are Earth humans on Era. They're rescued Earth humans. We have Terrans on Era that, and of course they live a normal life there. You don't live 80 years, you live several hundred. So 800, sometimes more. Claudio Nocelli, Worlds Beyond the Ice World. Is this Claudio Nocelli? Is he the guy that's talking to Linda Moulton Howe? There's stuff under Antarctica. Oh yeah. That's why they don't want. Oh, Galactic Court lawsuits on injustices. Something like, remember the World War II trials, the Nuremberg trials? There'll be Nuremberg trials. This is a Nuremberg trial right here. What they did to Earth, yeah, 100%. There's land under the ice walls. Oh yeah. Oh, the soul trap. Oh god. Yeah, that's sad. The soul trap. I believe Dan Winters. Make sure you die well. Don't go towards the light. Always pisses me off. You ever watch those? I like the ghost shows, right? And they're like, "Oh, we'll send them towards the light." I'm like, "Don't send them towards the light." No. Oh god. How do the kids? Oh, cats? Good. They were brought here. Ships. They are like other animals. All animals are animals, whatever. They're cats are cats, but they're brought here. Yeah, oh my god, yeah, I want to go home. I go home. You can go home. That's what I've been doing, is just removing myself as much as possible from a lot. Spending time with the animals, that's super helpful. That helps to, like, that erases a lot of like that. And Eeka spends a lot of time with me with the animals too, because that helps him. Living on the base sucks. I mean, so yeah, that just, yeah. I just stay away from people as much as I can. I don't travel. Why would I want to travel? I have nowhere to go. Where would I go? I can't leave a prison planet. So I move into another cell. So no, I have no interest in going through any of the cabal's rituals to get on a plane, or I won't do that. I'm not showing ID and all that bullshit. I don't even have it now. I just have a driver's license. I don't believe in that, but gotta drive. So yeah, I don't believe in any of that stuff. I'm just slowly removing myself from society. Higher density air and elders. Yeah, I wouldn't say they're higher density. We have elders. Um, you kind of Ika's actually working on that. He's gonna. I don't know. I don't think he'll do it in this life. It takes. And I think we both been looking at this now. It looks like, and this isn't our religion. I don't try to tell people what to think when it comes to this because there's no proof of that. It's just a belief system that we have on Era. Eka and I choose to believe it. Um, so it's a spiritual progression. The Era hell are very spiritual. That's our thing. Is it real? You know, we like it. So floats our boat. But he seems to be on. I'm a mystic. That's what I do on Era. Besides growing food, we have indigenous people that have master shaman elder types, but it's all religion. And we have temples and things like that. We do not worship deities, but we have belief systems that you would call spiritual, you know. Um, so he's on the path of being an elder, which surprised me and him. But in a way, it didn't, because he's always been seeking mysticism in many past lives. And I've been the mystic teacher in wisdom schools and things like that in many past lives. So it's kind of what I seem to be doing with him as his consciousness experiences these different physicalities. Now, this is not school. We don't believe that you don't incarnate to go to school or learn stuff. On Era, you incarnate to experience. Um, for what it's worth, I don't know. Who knows? So we're 4D density. We're high fourth density. Earth is 4D. That's what an elder said, and I believe the elder. The elder explained it. Earth is 4D. You cannot be in 3D unless you're a lamp. So if you're moving around, you're in 4D. Moving puts you in 4D. So this book is 3D. You got the type on the page. That would be like what, 1D? So that's how they explained it. So Earth is 4D. Like I said, unless you're a TV. It's cute. Oh, I don't know who brought a lot of ETs brought cats. Everybody, we got cats on Era. Everybody has cats. A lot of people they have cats on the ship. Popular pet. Ika's a big cat nut. We had a cat back home. He likes cats, so we don't have pets. They're beings that live with you. But there are animals like cats and dogs that we have as pets. There's chickens and horses, and we have deer, and the same thing. Depending where you are on the planet, there's fish and you name it. And but we don't mess with wildlife. We don't raise animals. They're sentient beings, so we don't. It's bad enough raising plants, but you got to eat. So it is what it is. Airport abuse. Oh yeah, I ain't going no airplane kissing their ass, and that's bullshit. No. I don't know. I have actually talked with the consciousness of a Jesus Christ figure. Super nice guy, I'll tell you that. I was when I was really bad. Super I gotta off myself. The pain was so bad. They strike me with anhedonia, so I have zero. I don't feel anything. Um I did contact Yeshua, which is a consciousness And yeah, he was super nice. I mean, masculine energy, because in that plasma state, you don't have male or female, but it was a plasma energy. Yeshua, Jesus Christ, what do you want to call him? Super nice, super, 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 super. I mean, that's yeah. He was. That's how bad it was. And yeah, is there a lifetime? Is there a lifetime war too? What's a lifetime war? I'm not sure. Lifetime war. I don't know what you mean by that. So I guess maybe cats are Irma envoys. Like I don't know anything about that. Never heard that. Um, I don't know who Swaru is. I don't know that. Um, cats. The Irma aren't cats. They're humanoids. So the lions and tigers here are the image of the lions and tigers are not Irma. The Irma are humans. Uh, so you can mate with an Irma, a Lan. I've been Lan. They're humans. They just have feline feature. They have just like the avians. The avians are not birds. Yeah, I've been avian. I am avian. That's who I am. Um, but we're humans. We have feathers and beaks, but we're humanoids. So you can mate with a Lan because it's a human. It just happens to have feline features. They're actually vegetarian as well. So they're not lions. I mean, that's sort of like the felines, cats and lions and tigers. Um, they're not humanoids. Those are felines. The Irma and the Lan are humanoids with feline features, just like the avians are not birds. They're humanoids with avian features. So we give birth. We don't lay an egg. So want to connect with your soul families and era, just do it. Just read. They've been trying to reach you. So that was one of the things they did. When the assholes, when there was huge infiltration through the alliance, and I don't mean the Earth Alliance. I have no idea. There's an alliance there's many federations up there. These alliances there's a massive alliance of extraterrestrials, 750,000 extraterrestrial groups. There was a massive infiltration, and there was a lie brought forward that the envoys here didn't want to connect anymore with their families. And families were told that, and they were like, wow, okay, all right, we understand it, but that's bad, right? And but they've been trying to reach you. They're always the visitors are always trying to reach you, always, the real ones, not the bullshit artists. I mean, oh sure, the CIA will jump in, but yeah, you can tell the difference if they start talking to you. If they say that you're Mary Magdalene's sister or brother, if they say that you're married to Ra, if you're being fed that shit, that's a red flag. But if some cute little person or feline being, whatever, comes up and says, hey, hey, you get a little nice feeling, that's real. If they start to manipulate you, if they start feeding you with all kinds of weird stories about how wonderful you are, and and your role, then that's the bad guys. With the number one spirit of all spirits. What? I don't. We don't get involved with spirit stuff. I don't understand that, so I can't answer that question. The hell don't believe that stuff. Um, we believe that you're a fractal of a consciousness that's part of the wider universal consciousness. Is that true? I don't know. Could be bullshit, but that's the religion that we're told. I don't try to feed that to people because there's no proof of that. You can't prove it, and you can't disprove it. I don't know Stephen Greer or Billy Meyer. Don't get some Yasi going about Billy Meyer. Elephants. I don't know. They're from sure all animals come in from. If they say you're in a oh, oh yeah yeah. Well, the CIA that's the temple complex that we're going to talk about Wednesday. Because Nate went through it, and he had a love bite and everything. Nathan's one of the few people who there's another guy that came forward that I know of, but he's one of the few people that came forward and was like, "I was fed this bullshit. It was bullshit. It was the CIA, and it was the handlers." So the ETs that he was contacting were all regressive. That the ones that they were feeding him. I think it takes balls to analyze your experiences and be like, "Hey, I don't think who I'm talking to is who I'm talking to." And that's happened to me, that's happened to Louise, that's happened to a lot of people, where some beings that you think you were talking to is not who you're talking to. But, if that happens, I'm actually not mentioning one thing because I don't wanna hurt somebody. But I suspect this person is not who they had used this person, infiltrated me, and it's not Eeka. It's not he says, I've tested him before. He's been through the ringer many times, but there are some ETs that have come forward and I want to protect the person, but I suspect they were not who they said they were. So yeah, humanoid body. The humanoid body type present is present in humanoids. So there are weird humanoids that are like uh, almost plasma astral type. I don't I don't have any dealing with them, so I don't know anything about them. I don't work with them. I don't work with any higher, whatever you call it. I just think they're a waste of space. I don't understand their purpose. More power to them, but they ain't helping anybody. So stars choose what day. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, if mommy and daddy were humanoids, then guess what? There you are. So yeah, the human Z, yeah, is Andy. Yeah. And of course, people, hanky panky, and you get all different mixes of humanoids. So I suspect, so we're wondering, like Eka and I, about Camiel because he's getting, I definitely think he would be a parlor ornament. He's so cute. He's just the cutest little thing for a lady. And not necessarily right now, obviously, because he's still kind of young, but was given of fleeting. I think he's gonna like, but because I'm thinking like, where is he gonna? We live in a rural area, an era very rural. There's nobody there. Nobody comes there. So we basically teleport goods to where they need to go, and we're like, who's he gonna meet, right? So I'm like, oh shit, you know who he's gonna meet? He's gonna marry an indigenous. I use the word indigenous just to describe it, but they're not indigenous, but they look like indigenous here. And we live near large populations of what would be the Native Americans or the Aboriginal in Australia. They're Pleiadian. So we live near a bunch of those people. They're the people that I work with and spend a lot of time with. They're the people that activated my third eye. And I bilocated to meet this guy. He looked like someone from the Amazon rainforest. So that's who Camiel is going to go with. He's going to be with one of the indigenous ladies. So they're going to look different, right? So you have Camiel, who's a Nordic, a blonde, blue-eyed, and he's going to marry someone who looks like a Native American. So their kid is going to be a mix. We don't have terms like that. We don't even think of stuff like that. But he's going to marry an indigenous woman. We don't marry either, but he's going to have that. That's going to be his partner. Bingo. So Eka loves matchmaking. I'm like, I can see that's what's going to happen. So let's see. Cradle, yeah, Lyra is grays. Some grays. Yeah, they're not humanoids though. They're grays. So They don't have a humanoid body. Some humanoids look like grays, and they're humanoids. Grays don't reproduce like humanoids. It's a whole separate. They have to do a lot of weird genetic shit to so when we have okay. Ika's kids that the military sent him up on a gray ship and they did their thing and made kids from him. They're sterile. So all of his kids are sterile. They look uh they don't look like grays. They have blonde hair and they're the percentage I suspect a lot of the ones they made died, but these survived. So they look largely, they probably do different percentages of genetic mixing. So the ones that survived look a lot like him. They look like Pleiadians. They look a little different. They definitely look, yeah, I wouldn't bring them here for sure. They're too innocent. They're such sweet kids. But they're all sterile. So. Huh? You're born, you look like your parents. After puberty, you start looking like you thought. I don't know. I could make a joke with that, but I won't. There's an Italian saying that we could use. I won't say it. Are there many? Are there many factions up there critical of the love and light? We don't have love and light. There's no concept of that. Non-intervention. Oh, then okay. So we don't have love and light. That's a CIA creation. You won't hear that upstairs. The non-intervention thing that was there. It was removed in our 1980s because it's stupid. There's a big fight though about that. The predation and trafficking that happened here was just because everybody turned a blind eye. It happens all over the place in space. People mind their own business and shit happens. It's a wild west up there. That's why we don't leave our planet. No one really leaves their planet. People don't travel in space. It's dangerous. My brother was doing that. He was doing major interstellar commercial for when he was working. So when my brother first became a pilot working on commercial transportation, he ended up working for a mercantile. So that's why Eeka's a bullshit artist. Remember, he's a salesman. He's a bullshit artist. He knows he's a bullshit artist. He likes being a bullshit artist. He's a salesman. My brother worked for a merchant. We have these major merchant conglomerates on Era, and we trade we trade goods. So that's largely those they look like submarines, but they have flat ends. Those big ships, people see them sometimes. Those are merchant ships. The one that was in Tunguska was a merchant ship, a hell merchant ship carrying crystals and some other shit. And he was there working with one of those initially going into interstellar, and we were nervous about that because it's not safe. And now he's only working on planets, so people don't really leave their planet. It can get really ugly. Well, hello, look what happens when you leave your planet. Bad news bears. So I'll see. What your body? What does my body look like now? So, the grays aren't. No, the grays aren't us in the future. You could incarnate as a gray. There's all kinds of grays, but the grays are never humanoids. They will never be humanoids. You cannot mate sexually with a gray and produce a child. It's impossible. Any more than you could mate with a turkey or a pheasant or a giraffe and make a. It's not possible for grays to be humans. Only if it's done in the laboratory. So you get a hybrid. So right now, me having I'm not gonna have a baby. I'm an old lady. But if I were in a younger years able to, if I had a baby with Eeka, it would not be a hybrid. It'd be a human. So it's human on human. It's not a hybrid. A hybrid is a horse and a donkey. Makes a mule. That's a hybrid. So Staying on your own planet is cool if it isn't a nut house like the place. Oh yeah. Well, a lot of people get the hell out. I mean, there's a lot of really loving, wonderful Draco. Um, you can't tell by a reptilian what if they're good or bad or what their intentions. You can't tell by a human if they're good or bad, what their intentions are. Um, so it's there's a lot of really bad, bad, bad scenes out in space. Far worse than this. Far worse. Oh, the Umo. Oh my god, they were freaking barbarians. There's a lot of shitty, bad situation. But some of the tall planets were really bad. There's some I'm gonna say weird, but there's some odd tall that are kind of like they remind me of the Spartans. They're very austere. Um, so whatever floats your boat. And if it don't float your boat, you get the hell out. So, well, we're coming on 9:30, so it's wow 7, 8. I didn't do my math here. We should probably wrap it up. Some of us have poop to move in the morning. It's an endless cycle. Yeah. I always just say, just use your reasoning. Just reason. And Eeka always says that too. Not that he always says, don't listen to him. He's just a guy. That's all he is. And he doesn't know any more than anybody else. He has life experiences that are different. We all do, right? We all do. Who doesn't? So it's not. There's not. They don't see us in them. They never do. But I really hope he gets to meet Linda Moulton Howe. If he can, he's going to be like a little girl at a rock concert. Hang on. Are tall grays good? And God, no. No, I mean, are there some that are nice? Yeah. But some are real bastards. So that's. Well, that's what Eeka always warns folks. You don't know. Just be careful. They're liars. They can use mind control. So that's what it's going to be. You don't know what's going to happen here. They're preparing people by using these channelers and whatever, 90% of the stuff you're hearing on the internet for a blue beam. And you're probably, if you get on these, I know when I saw that Jupiter thing with the telescope was able to see, I got a really bad vibe. And they can take, if you and yeah, the good guys aren't going to tell you they're coming. If they're coming, they're just going to come because it's a safety issue. Never get on any ship. Never trust an ET you don't know. The real guys look like regular people. They act like regular people. They talk like regular people. Any ET can mind control you. And that happens very quickly. It's really dangerous. And Eeka just wants to say that because he really, like you say, he's a very touchy-feely kind of guy. He's very innocent. He's very loving. And he's just warns people. He was abducted. He knows they had plans for him. They eventually were going to kill him and take his consciousness and lock it into something. That's really scary. That's a phase worse. Yeah. They can do that. And the bad guys do that. So don't trust them. Your life depends on it. Don't trust anyone. Especially if they're trying to force feed you shit. You gotta like these guys. You gotta like these. That's a red flag. I don't know. And any benevolent ET will understand that they have to earn your trust. They understand what you've been through. They understand that you can't trust them, and they'll give you space for that. They will not force you to do anything. That's the key point. They will not force you. So, Linda Moulton Howe, Linda. Oh, he loves Linda Moulton Howe. Linda Moulton Howe. What do the ETs want, Eeka? They want sex, Linda. God. Art Bell. Oh my God. He was in, yeah. So there's a. Oh, the Time Wars. Oh yeah. There's no such time as. Once you get into once you get into a craft, and that craft's in warp, you're outside of space-time. Space-time is an illusion. You only have space-time on planets. Once you're off the planet, there's no space-time. There's no time. And so once you go into space, there's no time. So when you're living on your planet, there's senses of time. And that depends on the planet, the rotation of the planet, right? You all know that. That's just basic. But you can move through time. Once you're onto the ship, you can move through time. Semjase did this with Billy Meyer. She took him through time because she was trying to show them. she's like, Billy, trying to teach you, buddy. Learn something. Take this knowledge, write it in your book, show the people. And oh God. Anyway. So white circle spinning on something. Oh, you got a thing on the air. So that's Linda. I told him, don't you scare Linda if you get to meet Linda. He's a big guy. I mean, but I think I don't know. She's been around ETs. She knows she's met them. She's had experiences. She may not be telling people what she knows, but she knows more than she's telling. She's had experiences. So you think you're gonna go in with the blue? I don't know if they're gonna do a blue beam. They're playing with it. I think it's gonna blow up in their face. I think it's gonna be awful. I don't know how the hell they're gonna pull that off, or what the purpose would be. I don't know. But guys, anyway. In warp is up, but that's how the ships work. They fall basically. They become massless. That's what creates the lift. So there's no lift. They become massless. Everything on the ship becomes massless because of the way that the torsion fields are creating that. My goodness. Oh my God. It has to do with polarity. Gravity. So how does it do to the gravity? I have to think about. I've done some stuff which we kind of finding the words to explain this. They actually talk about they have a great whole section, which I want to do again from in mass contacts on the ships. So you don't have to be in warp to get lift. That's when you see the ship kind of like. So it's not in warp at that point. There is the lift is still created through masslessness, though, with the counter-rotating torsion. And that's why they're usually shaped in disc, because it just makes sense to make it like a disc. So you have your massive energy source, cold fusion type. That's how they run the TR3B. And then, which is really shitty. The TR3Bs are sucky, but they do the job. And then that creates the toroidal spin. We use mercury and monatomic gold, I believe, in our ships. He has to be careful because if he tells me stuff that has to do with tech, they'll kill me. So he's always kind of like, because they hear the DS hears, they're tapping me. They've been following me because this is what I mentioned to a couple people. I'm like, we're getting too high. We're like we're over, I think we're 42,000, 43,000 subscribers now, and it concerns me. So here we go. I don't know anything about archangel and angelics. Those are human terms. There are plasma beings. Is that what people are? I don't know what Terrans are talking about when they talk about angels. There are plasma beings. Is that what they're talking? Because I think some of the beings were like negative Nordics. I think that some of the Terrans we're seeing. Some of them are ET. Well, plasmas are ET. But there are what I would consider angels that are actually in plasma beings. But I don't know. I don't know what. I don't do Bible shit. I never had any interest in that. I don't care. Time space. It has the limit that we have to use to unlimited ourselves. Matter become unmatter in French. Yeah, I mean it's probably in French immateriality study of Berkeley. Yeah. In Brazil, there was a video where a ship hovered and a few seconds later flew away very fast. The video, oh yeah, yeah. The ships you can give it a destination point, so you don't have to, you don't have to do that. Most ships are run with an AI. You just tell it. So very few ETs have chips. Like I say, because Eeka was in the military, he has one. But he never had the ability to fly a ship with his mind. BCI, brain computer interface. I think I can, but he says I can, and that just has to do with, I don't know, like some ET can. There's just something in their biological structure that allows that to happen. So yeah, so that's it. When they come down low, they drop those balls. You ever see? There's so many pictures out there. Those little silverly look like orbs. They drop those, and that is a distance. The ship reads that, so you don't. I mean, the ship has a AI computer that runs. It's just incredibly complicated. So the computer shins down these little orbs things, these little metal things that help to stabilize it when it gets too close to the ground before it actually will set down or whatever. So I have an idea of distance. Yeah. Oh, it's what beliefs have we been taught that limit our freedom the most? I don't know. I think most Terrans have been fed beliefs like it's all fake. Pretty much everything here is fake. It's illusion. I look at animals. That'll give you a lot of, what are the, well, we're fed shit too. Everybody's fed shit. I think humanoids in general have this weird desire for philosophy and belief structures, and you don't really see that. No. Animals are far more sovereign. I don't know. It's a humanoid thing, I think, in general. It's weird. I can tap in, I have a contract with the avians. I'm avian beyond, which is a humanoid. And I have allegiance to them over other humanoids, but so there's oh. I think it's, as far as a clean, I know what you mean. Well, their body's the same. It's what you're eating. Just eat clean. I that would be it, really. We bathe. I mean, that's we have the same problems. Uh, yeah, I mean, they have to. We all they're not. They don't have a cleaner. The only thing, that's it. I mean, it's like your body processes food, right? So it's whatever you eat is. They don't eat, like Ika doesn't eat any meat, and I can feel it off people who don't eat meat. You can feel a cleaner sense. There's a cleaner vibe. So, but they, he wears perfume. He doesn't. I mean, he doesn't smell this. But they have, like I said, they bathe too, because otherwise, yeah, they have the same. It's the same body. It's a believe that you are not divine. Terrans believe that they're not divine. Well, I think they've been fed a lie by these weirdos about what divine means. So good luck fixing that one. They're fear-based. They use their religions, they're fear-based. So yeah. I that's out of my pay grade, I would say. Oh, yes, perfumes. Yes, we love perfumes. Where are they produced? No, no, we produce perfumes through, plants, flowers and plants, and different, like, saps, frankincense, right, myrrh, all those types of things, we have those too. So there's all of that kinda like those are saps from trees, right? So Eka has one I like a lot. It's like an apple blossom smell, it's very light. So he knows I like, dragon's blood, so he wore that once too, but yeah. They like perfumes, yeah. We bathe and then it's nice, then you perfume yourself. Some of the bath, shower, whatever you have in your house, it can have that in it. So you can actually because we run our houses on AI, so they're the and right, molecular manipulation. So you can replicator, okay, a scent and put that in your bath. The house would do it. So it's like people have those here. What do they call them? I don't have one because I don't believe in this. Alexa. Our houses are like that. So you can command. So the light from the wall, the light comes from the walls and also in the air. So you can light it that way. We don't have lights. So it's the material that makes the walls is not a replica. It's more like a 3D printer. That's how we build. So it builds the entire structure like a 3D printer, and that's how things are built. And all of the fiber optics, you might want to call it, the AI connections, like the consciousness in the house is put in at the time when it's made. It's, so we don't build with mortar, build. You know, it's we have doors. So you don't have to. I mean, you could use the molecular manipulation to create a door, and they do that in the bases. Actually, that Frank went through one. So when you enter a base, it might just look like a rock, but it's actually the door. So when you're invited, they will separate the molecular structure of the rock. You enter and the rock closes around you. So it's just molecular manipulation. So that's it. But I recommend, like I said, what it's like to be in contact. This is the one, Amichizia. That's happened in Italy. If you speak Spanish, there was quite a bit of people who were in contact with the Umites. And also there's mass contacts that happen in Germany. So if folks speak German, they can get access to some of those as well. There were mass contacts here. Frank was part of it. Gabriel Green out in California. Also, it was Pennsylvania, one lady, but a lot Mount Shasta. There were mass contacts here that were there. Oh God, I think in the 80s it really kind of ended. But Frank is gold mine, and such an honor to work with him. And Semyasi and Val are so proud of him. So it's really cool. Yeah, it's like I said, it's just an honor to have Frank here with us with his wonderful, inspirational manner, and he said it too is very monastic, and he has that, and he is a true Venusian. I was, yeah, he'd be so embarrassed now. But anyway, um, yeah, if we ever get home, I got a lot of people want. I miss home. I miss the peace. I miss the peace. I miss innocence. Innocence is the main thing. Like that's something I need. I need innocence. Ta-da! I have it. No, that's what the animals are innocent. It's just like I have to surround myself with innocence. So atomic level manufacturing. Yes. Yes. Eka told me to say molecular manipulation. Try molecular manipulation, he says. Say that. I'm like, all right. Versus material assembly. Yes. But it essentially does the same thing. Yeah. So we're doing it now with 3D printing, if you think about that here. Yeah. So named Hera. No, I don't know anyone named Hera. So it's a planet, so I don't know. Yeah. We're very rural. We don't have a lot of contact with people. Ika has more contact than I did with him being upstairs, working with a lot of different people, on different crafts and places like that in the base. And he's met a lot more people than I have. I don't know who Zendox is. I don't know that person. That's oh yeah, Frank would love a live plan with Val and Semyasi. I don't know, I don't work with Val very much. Only because of Frank. That's the only reason I ever contacted Val in the first place was Frank. So Kanika, please tell me what is going on with them. One of your friends. I do not work with Anunnaki. There are no Anunnaki in the base. We do not work with them. The Anunnaki largely stay to themselves. They're kind of like the tall whites. They're not good. They're not bad. They mind their own business. I don't work with them. Hell, rarely. I don't. God, the last time I'm talking, isn't it? I said, wasn't that back in the Sumerian? I think it's like, yeah. Back in the Sumerian. On Michael's today that Enki was being stopped and they were not. I have no idea. I don't know Enki. I mean, I think Dennis has spoken with Enki a few. I don't really deal with them. I don't talk to Michael Sala. I haven't talked to Michael Sala in when was the last time? Maybe like this time last year. Or this wasn't the fall. I've removed myself from anyone. I don't know Alex. I know Alex Collier, no idea. I don't work with him at all. So Billy Meyer he's alive. He was in contact with Semyasi. Billy Meyer is legit. His stuff's been analyzed. Some of his video. I think they had some bad guys had done some fakes and put his name on it. But no, Billy Meyer has had work analyzed. It's legit. That is Semyasi's ship. He did fly with her. He did go to Era. He just didn't understand a lot. That's what. So he didn't. When he started writing what she told him, he didn't get it, and that pissed her off. To this day. And I get it. I get why she's mad, but you have to understand that Billy, there's like, dude, I'm trying to. This guy from the 70s is a farmer. He has no idea. A UFO fucking lands in his field. It's like his mind is blown. So, and he's into religions too, I think, right? So, like, you have to understand, the context. So you got to cut the guy. In my opinion, you got to cut the guy some slack. I get it was serious. I get it was complicated, but it's like, yeah. Anyway, I don't know why they picked Billy. I know it's like pick a physicist or something. Like someone who would get it. I don't know. They don't. This is the thing. A lot of the ETs make really weird, stupid decisions because no one's perfect. Well, it's Ika. Oh. Wait a minute. Right. No. Why would you believe something like Alex Collier tells you? I don't understand. Like I don't know him personally. Unless you know him personally, unless you know somebody personally, I would take their shit with a grain of salt. You gotta talk to somebody personally to really understand them, because most of it's shit. I wouldn't waste. Why are you wasting your time with that bullshit? The Anunnaki are not interested in humans. They don't give a shit about humans. I don't have any friends talking about that. I don't know who this friend is, but that's not isn't anybody I work with. I'm open to being friends with anybody, and I agree to disagree, but I am not a part of any of that shit. Ika does not work with Anunnaki. He has never even met one. So I would not comment on Elena Denon. Nope. What are what are the benefits of staying alive? Curiosity at this point? That's a personal decision. People have to make their own decisions and their own paths. I mean, what's keeping us here, you know? For me, it's Ika. Curiosity. I wanna see where this shit show goes. Existentially, I think it's a waste of space here. But I mean, you know. Yeah, I mean, you gotta answer that for yourself, you know? When I'm done, I'm done. I'll tell you that. Ain't no way I'm dying here of some, you know, I'm not sitting in any fucking nursing home staring at a wall. No way. If I get to a point where I need to be put down and no one else is gonna do it, I'm doing it. But that's me. Um, if you like the Anunnaki, get in touch with them. You know, just be careful. You don't know if you don't know who they are. I, all we the hell don't work with them. We don't really even trade with them. They mind their own business as far as we know. They're not bad people. They're not good people. They're just blah. They do their thing. Oh no. But Semyasi does. No, it's attacking Billy. More power to Billy. He's hanging on there. You know, he went through hell, as a lot of the old contactees did. He's lucky to be alive, really. Maybe he's been tricked in, but I'm not going there. Billy's not been. Billy met with Semyasi. He's legit. He just didn't get it. But who would? It's the 1970s. They don't have computers. It's old school. It's fully analog. It's dial telephones. It's like, and she's showing him shit from like, it's like, yeah. She's, I don't, sometimes the women aren't a good choice. Ika's like, we're bitchy. Some Pleiadian women. Yeah, we're assholes. And I think he ticked her off. And yeah. I don't have a friend who works with the Anunnaki. I don't know who this person is. None of the people I talk to and I'm friends with work with the Anunnaki. I don't know who Di Stefano is. Never met him. Her, him, whatever. No idea. No one I know talks about the Anunnaki, works with the Anunnaki. We're largely Pleiadian. That's just the people I'm working with. That's just because I'm from Era. So most people I am working with are also from the Pleiades. So, yeah. Oh, you know, most of the ETs would like a nice Lamborghini as well. Flying saucers, you're not moving. You're just sitting there. It's not, you know, it's a machine. Oh, you won't read your brain while you're sleeping. That's against the law. No benevolent will do that. It's against the law. He won't read your brain ever. It's against the law. I'm trying to avoid the I mean, there's some nice Anunnaki. I mean, I personally am not drawn to them. I don't have any interest in them, you know. I have no idea if this Enki guy is returning. I don't know. None of us, Ika's never heard of that. None of us have heard of that. If he's a nice guy, I mean, hey, more power to you. Come on. I'd have tea with him, you know. Oh, the Mormons. Oh my God. I don't know. Good luck to them. Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. So supposedly it started with her. Oh yes. Yeah. No, Billy has had a long he's one of the envoys, one of the operatives. Yeah. Isn't I don't know who this person is. My friend is saying bad things about the I don't know who this person is. I do not have a friend talking about the Anunnaki. I don't know who you're talking about. I don't have a friend talking about the Anunnaki. I personally am not a fan of them. It's more of a culture glitch for me. They're not my cup of tea. So I'm giving. Oh, he won't do that. Even if you cannot give someone permission to read your mind. They won't do that. Certainly Eka won't. He's a whip. You know, never. The Anunnaki were part of the. There's different Anunnaki. There's different groups of Anunnaki, and yeah, some were involved with the operation here, mining operations, and they wanted to see. We were involved there. The Pleiadians came in. The hell, there's different Pleiadians. Not all Pleiadians are good. There were some regressive Pleiadians that were working with the Anunnaki. They weren't. They came here on trading business work, and colonization. And they had a race here that they could use to do the dirty work for them, and they did. So it doesn't make them bad. It just makes them opportunists. I think that's the key. See, they're opportunists. That doesn't float my boat. I don't agree with what they do. So we stay the Pleiadians largely stay away. The hell Pleiadians largely stay away. I have no idea who Catherine Merlon. I know Catherine Merlon. I don't know her personally at all. At all. She's not a friend of mine. I've never spoken with her. I don't Steffi. Oh, Steffi. Oh, yes. Steffi works with groups. We're not in the same, like, I know Steffi. Yes. She's a nice person. We work with different groups. She's Arcturian. If you've got reptilian tech, that goes into like, were you in the SSP? I mean, that's you have to deep dive there to find out what was done to you, who did what to you. That's that's like a one-on-one thing. Someone would have to assist you with that. Yeah, yeah, that's a challenge. Oh, Steffi, yeah. Yep. Not doing well together. If you've got V2K SSP stuff, MK Ultra, and they're really hitting you, you need to get rid of that. They can destroy you. They're actually doing that right now. We're seeing it happen where people are too far gone. So I would recommend Louise Jones personally. They're cracking down on their tools, I call them, right now. The only group we have is a Facebook. So it's just for folks who want to get together and chat. So they can one-on-one with others and share events that's happened. So we can kind of have a feel of what's happening. Like, A lot of folks were having trouble sleeping. I was having trouble sleeping. I got attacked. Other people got attacked. So we're like, oh, okay, there's some shit going down, you know. So it helps. Yeah, they did some shit to the Terrans here, to because you don't want slaves that are gonna give you issues. So they don't. I mean, yeah, it's like any race. If they're humanoids, they're not all bad. So it's a personal thing, It's just like Terrans, right? Terran. I mean, there's a lot of really dangerous regressive Terrans. A lot. Is everybody like that? No. By and large, is Earth and the Terran race a very dangerous race? Oh yeah. I would get out of here ASAP. Is everybody on this planet like that? No. So it's you have to, it's the same on other it's the same. There are other planets where people are fucked over or beings are fucked over, and some of them are good and some of them are just nasty. I'm not an ET hybrid. Because I'm working here. Even though I quit. I can't leave here on my own. I'm a humanoid, so I can't leave. I have to have a craft. I have to have something to get me out of here. Well, they're not. I mean, what do you want 'em I don't know what they would help you with. We're all in the same boat. Um, they're not gonna help you live a day-to-day life here. That's for sure. I know a lot of people who've been in some rough places, and it's, that's part of it. You're in a war zone. So we came in here knowing we're gonna be combatants in a war zone. And we are. And we are. Yes. Oh, yeah, Native Americans coined the name. Yeah, because there's all kinds of ET races here. And the Native Americans, that's why they were wiped out, because they knew about that. People from India also know about a lot of that. Oh, I don't know of any Anunnaki here. Some may have moved underground. But I don't know anything about them. I never had any interest in them. So Eeka doesn't know Billy Meyer. Semyasi was one who worked with Billy Meyer. Eeka can't help anybody here. He can't. He served. He fought for God. Close to 48 years. He fought for close to 48 years. And it broke him. Yeah, you have to get finds. Like, I like Louise. Louise usually does a pretty good job. Louise Jones. I would recommend her for seeing what's up. To get any kind of stuff. It's complicated, especially if it's SSP, because you might have signed contracts with them. So things can get really complicated. And if they really want you as a tool, they can just put the stuff back in. So you get it removed, they put it back in. Nathan Sizik was able to fight it off. It's not easy. And I know a lot of people who weren't able to fight it off, and it's eating them up. They're taken. It's a very bad thing. And the only way to do it is to fight it. You have to fight it. Fight it. You have to fight it. People can take it off you, but you have to fight it. Well, like I said, I've seen people fall, and I'm seeing people fall now. They're really clinging to their the handlers are taking over a lot of these people. I don't know why. It's sad. The people become very dangerous. But yeah, I don't know. It's a war. War sucks. Yeah, we're fucked over here. This is So we've got the Pleiadians. So the hell. So there's the Pleiades is a star cluster of many, many different stars. Some of the stars are Goldilocks and there's planets. Um, there are benevolent Pleiadians that are on the fight, just like a lot of Tau Cetes, Venusians, Alpha Centaurians, people from Procyon. Certainly the Irma, they're not Pleiadian, but there are a lot of we don't have a military. The people of Era, we only have a defensive military, that works around the planet. They don't really go anywhere. We do some gun running and stuff like that, but we don't have an aggressive combatant force. So if there are any Pleiadians from Era that wish, like Eeka, that he didn't want to fight, he is not a fighter. He's a salesman. But if they want to, then they would join the alliance and the CFW, which is a federation. The federation does not have a military, so they join. There are federations that have militaries. The alliance is the military wing. It's not partner of the federation, which is more of a peacekeeping thing, like a UN. There's militaries from there, and they did quite a bit of fighting to remove some of the regressive groups that were really strangleholding on this planet. And now it's more of a diplomatic thing. But Eco was here fighting in the dumps. So it's they've been here fighting. But though the ant people, I've never met one of the ant people. I think they're humanoids. I don't think they're insectoid. You just have to wait. All we can do right now is wait. That's all. I mean, that's what everybody's doing. But yeah, we've gone 3 hours, so we've gone 3 hours. So I got poop to clean in the morning, as always. But yeah, wild stuff. Wild stuff. We just gotta. If you need help, I recommend Louise Jones. But you gotta fight those guys. If you don't fight the deep state, and I tell people all the time, they look for low hanging fruit, and they'll beat you into the. They will, and I know I've been there. Will make you squirm, but it was hell. It was hell for since I was 16 until I was, on and off. Let's see, 52 on and off. They fucked me over good. Well, they fucked me over big when I was a kid. You gotta fight. You gotta fight. You gotta fight. They actually, I think it's a test. They will bring you to the breaking point. And it's, yeah. But if you don't fight them, and only you can fight them, that's it. People can pull shit off you. They're gonna put it right back on. I've had it happen to me. They'll pull it right back on. And you got to fight. Nathan's a great example. I mean, Nathan fight. He fights him all the way. Fights him. And he suffered. So, and I warn people, if you don't fight them, they will take you over. They will take you over. And it's not an easy fight. So that's what I would say is get it removed, but then be ready to fight. Once they get it off you, and they will, like I said, they will beat you to the ground. Like, yep. There's some reptilians still here. But the main Draco were left. There wasn't any interest anymore. There was fighting, absolutely, and they decided it's not worth it. Yeah, the alliance. Yeah, I mean, when we say alliance, I don't mean the alliance white. I mean an alliance, right? There's an ET alliance. It's called the alliance, and yeah, they did push them. Oh, you can have all kinds of evil stuff going into your house. I'm going to say largely it's the SSP. That sounds SSP. 100% sounds SSP to me. Yeah, that's black military SSP. So thanks for. Oh, Audrey, yes, yes, she's still fighting on too, like all the rest of us, why aren't they? They're not going to protect people from bad people coming to the house. You're in a war zone. You're in a war zone. They want us dead. You're an enemy combatant. And if you've signed contracts with the SSP and the military, even under duress, they're going to keep coming. They're not stopping the SSP. Yeah, I had military in my house. I was gang raped as a kid by the military. Black military black military right now is killing envoys. They're killing scientists. They're not. That's just what it is. The SSP is an intergalactic group of mercenaries. It's a really shitty situation. But all you can do is fight them. So I do some days. Oh, there's Earth style messes everywhere. Oh, I don't think anybody would bother you. It's kind of it's like Las Vegas up there. What goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. But yeah, we've been doing 3 hours, so it's is what it is. We just keep fighting. All we can do. Send yeah. All we can do is it. We just hold the fort and make is like I said, people, fight. Don't let the assholes into your area. If they come in, tell them to fuck the hell off. And that's all you can do, right? And just really rely on resonance and discernment and common sense. Reason. Once you start to think, once you start to reason, once you start to look at things in an academic way, an analysis, then you're gonna be like, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's all. It doesn't mean you have to not like somebody. You can still like somebody, like somebody that's a nice person, whatever. But you agree to disagree. I like Lily Nova. I think she's a nice person. I 100% disagree. And I don't think we agree to disagree because I don't really I don't talk to her. I'm not a friend of her. I think she's a lovely person. Again, it's an agree to disagree situation. And a lot of people are great people. But you agree to disagree. That's all. That's what humans have to understand. You can still like somebody even though you don't agree with them. You don't have to agree with them. You can agree to disagree. So, yeah, is what it is. I always say it is what it is. But as Frank Chili says, I will see everyone upstairs and keep fighting. Keep telling the assholes upstairs that we need help here. That's all we can do. Oh, yes, John Charles Mayen. I do know him. Yes. Yep. So cool beans. We'll see everyone, as I said, upstairs. So take care.